something you can say on the Titanic as it's sinking and at a rave.
Am I high right now, or is that an iceberg?
Hey girl, you trying to hit this?
Oh, you know exactly what I need. Holy shit. We're back in action, guys.
What's up? Happy Tuesday, you filthy fucking stoners. Boy, do we have an incredible episode for you today. We've been very excited about this.
I've been pumped, actually, because this guest was amazing the last time we had him on. We have Mr. Stirling Cooper himself.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hello, hello.
Say that again. I was what when you had me on last time? What?
What did we say?
I was amazing.
Yeah, you're amazing.
Damn fucking right.
Yeah, he was so good.
He just wanted to hear that one more time.
I know. No, it's because we have good comedic chemistry.
We do.
Oh, yeah, good banter.
We have great banter.
Yes.
You guys are. I'm so glad we did that because I am gonna come on this podcast every fucking time.
Every time you're here.
Because this is so much fun.
Thank
Hell
you.
yeah.
I'm glad
tell
you're
your
having
friends, tell your cousins, tell your aunts, tell your uncles. 2 girls, 1 blunt, baby.
Don't know if my auntie and my uncle would be interested, but whatever. We'll see.
Yeah, our episode did so well with you. We had great topics. You ranted about why breast reductions should be outlawed.
Just ranted again.
And I think, you just ranted again. I think we should bring up why you were ranting.
The elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room.
Elephants. Thank you very much. I got 2 of them.
2 of them.
It's a family.
I got
are you going to abandon your family, Emily?
Yes.
Yes.
She
yes.
is.
You're going to abandon your family? You're not a real woman.
You're a
Here's the
dead
thing.
dad who's gonna walk out on his kids.
Where's my fucking milk? I'm gonna abandon them before they can abandon me like everybody else in my life, okay? It's called self-sabotage. Look it up, folks.
We're healing.
You know it's self-sabotage.
So
Why are you doing it?
she's admitting it's wrong. All right, so Emily went to the doctors the other day.
Yes, and I got diagnosed with lice.
Get me the fuck out of here.
You don't have hair, so you're fine.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
That's exactly why they shave people.
Oh,
Yeah.
lice.
Okay.
No, I got diagnosed with large titties, guys.
It's
And-
legit.
We're going to,
It's real.
we'll zoom in. Hopefully this shows.
Big tits.
Big.
If not, we'll take a picture and we'll add it. But this is a real diagnosis. Large breasts, number 62.
Who are the 61 other bitches who have larger boobs than me? Because I want to meet them. I'm going to introduce them to Stirling.
No, I think that means you have bigger tits than the other ones.
Is it like the 62nd percentile of titties?
Ooh.
Well, that's an accomplishment,
That's-
Emily.
I'm-
And you want to get rid of them?
Frame this.
That should be
And
framed.
you want to get rid of them.
I
Tell
want to get rid of them.
Why you went to the plastic surgeon.
I went to the primary care doctor to get a referral out to plastic surgery so I can get a breast reduction because my back hurts and I'm tired of lugging around these titties.
Call the ambulance.
Oh, boo-hoo. I had to go to plastic. No, I had to go to...
Babe, just deadlift. Just deadlift. Simple.
strengthen that back.
I will teach you. To save your tits. I will personally take you to the gym
Yeah.
and teach you how to fucking deadlift.
Really?
Just to save those titties.
We're going after this.
Okay.
Just to save the titties. Because all you do is get a strong back.
Only if you do it in that suit.
Easy. This is custom tailored. I could 100% deadlift in this suit.
He flies from where he lives to come here once a week.
Just to
Deadlifting.
just
He's like,
save those tits. Because it's the principle of the thing.
You're just looking out for my future husband, and I'm sure he appreciates that.
Fucking bet.
I'm looking out for your future husband.
Let's go
I'm looking out
deadlift.
for me until you find your future husband, because boy, do I like looking.
You can deprive Jamie of like seeing that in the morning.
I don't. We're out here trying not to be hoes, and I need to see some tits every once in a while.
Facts.
all right? It's
Facts.
like a roommate contract.
Yeah, I can't cut my titties off because Jamie needs to stare at them.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, fair
Why do you
enough.
need- I don't know how you need more convincing than this. I think we've laid down a pretty solid argument.
Great people too to
Oh, with
convince
such
you.
Beautiful eyes. You guys are beautiful
Yes.
people.
Correct.
Thank you.
Correct. All 3 of us have blue eyes.
Oh, we're inbred. Nice.
Wow, Hitler's wet dream. Okay.
Nice.
That's what they call me in the streets. I don't know.
What?
They're like, get out of the streets.
Get back into your home.
Yeah.
this
Good
week,
times.
this week you got the body. You got the body dysmorphia from the streets.
I got the body dysmorphia of an 80-year-old grandma and the hips of a 90-year-old.
Yeah, every time I get on top when I have sex, which is not often, but it will happen when it's not often, and then my hips will crack, and I'll
Yep.
be like,
Huh.
Sorry about that.
Lack of practice, that's why.
That's why my ex used to call me a Rice Krispie treat. Snap, crackle, pop.
It's yours and cracking.
Oh. Do you have like a routine you do before you hook up with a girl? Because girls have routines before they hook up with guys.
Such as, go on.
Here's my routine.
Gotcha.
So I will order, like, I'll be eating clean. I'll order like fresh pressed watermelon juices, like nice juices, chug a bunch of that, make sure I'm super hydrated. I'm drinking a gallon of water like every day.
Mhm.
And then I'll do yoga because
Yep.
because I'm just like not used to certain positions that it's now at the point where like I have sex so little that I get like I'm sore after. It's like a workout. Instead of it being like normal. You know what I mean? I'm like, why? You know when you're like coming, well, maybe not you, but when I'm coming, my butt like clenches.
Mine too.
And then I'm like, wait, I have a booty pump today.
Yeah.
You know? So I gotta like get that all in.
No, I go like stiff. And then I start like shaking and my butt clenches and it looks like I have a cube butt. And my ex used to call me cube butt because he would make me come and I'd have a little cube.
But these are routines. Do you have a routine?
Sorry.
Slight segue. Slight on that point, because that's you both said your butt clenches up, right?
Yeah.
I used to see this girl years ago, like this is like a decade ago. And in missionary, I would reach under and I'd grab her butt and clench, and that would make her orgasm.
Oh, so she didn't even know how to do it herself. herself.
But I think there's got to be I'm just learning this right now. I like to look for like patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just had two women say the exact same thing,
Mm-hmm.
and one from 10 years ago who was clearly responding to like butt tension stimulation somehow in relation to an orgasm. We might have just discovered something new.
Well,
Something there.
We had our last guest on, Sarah Huntington, and we talked about this off camera, which we were like, fuck, this would have been a great topic. So we're bringing it up with you. And she said, like, for her to come, she's like, we literally go stiff as a board,
Yep.
like straight, and everything is like tight. And like the harder you like squeeze your whole body, the easier it is to come. Not when I'm like, if I'm like loose, I'm like kind of, it's not the,
It's not
if
the
my
same.
body's like relaxed, it's kind of different. Yeah.
I also have to be warm to orgasm, and I've
Yeah.
realized this recently that I come way harder with a heating pad on my back, and I can't
She's a
come.
grandma.
I'll tell you what, here's a hack for you. Wear socks.
Yeah,
I
we
do.
do.
I do.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like for dudes to wear socks in bed is
Weird.
an ick for most girls.
Yeah.
If a woman like struggles to orgasm, just keep socks on.
What if you're into a guy who likes foot stuff?
Good luck.
Asking for a friend.
Asking for good luck with that.
King shame here.
No, but am I shamed? I didn't shame, did I?
No, we're not shaming. I'm just saying I got to figure out a solution. My friend has to figure out a solution.
Oh, so this is a very specific question.
No. What's your routine before sex starts?
My routine before sex or before going on a date? Which one?
Give us sex, but then I guess date too.
If I know I'm like, you know, if it's like a fuck buddy or a girlfriend, whatever, coming around, like, okay, it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. I have like a supplement stack I'll take just to like
What is it?
make sure I'm like on point. It's a bunch of different stuff. It's comes
Milk
from
thistle?
years. It comes from years of not milk thistle. No, not milk.
Doesn't that help with like testosterone or something?
No,
I don't know.
yeah, well, stinging nettle root helps with free testosterone. My stack consists of basically L-arginine, L-citrulline. People might be familiar with those things. They help with blood flow. They help with nitric oxide production. Together, they're actually way more effective than individually. That's why I put them together. Things like beetroot extract, because beetroots provide you with nitrates, which are a precursor to nitric oxide. If you don't have nitrates in your diet, you can't actually produce nitric oxide and thus get a boner. Pomegranate extract does a similar thing, provides some nitrates, helps with nitric oxide production, helps with cleaning out your arteries. Vitamin K2 and horny goatweed both also help clean out your arteries, get rid of arterial plaques, calcium lodged in your arteries and stuff, so you can the
Pump the
tunnel
blood.
is open. So all these things.
You love an open tunnel.
See, there you go.
I don't know what that means.
All of these things are things I would supplement with like in advance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I'm going to take all of those and get the biggest boner of my fucking life.
What you might find is that your clit gets bigger.
I don't want to do
I
that.
don't want that.
I like my little clit. She's good.
Have you, okay, random segue. Have you ever had a dude try a pussy pump on you?
No.
No.
Wait, on your clit?
The whole area.
No.
I did one time. This was like
Ah.
not to me, but I knew a guy who was like known for making girls squirt across the East Coast. That was like the thing. Yeah. I don't Yeah. Oh no. No. Like, yeah.
Squirter Steven, they called him.
Seriously. Yeah. Not Steven, but the name's pretty close. And he was like really into putting it like a balloon inside you type thing, and you pump it and it fills up with pressure and it gets really big inside you. And he's like, girls come crazy.
It's like the feeling of being
But that
full.
was like, I was like, I'm glad I'm not fucking you because you would require too much.
I might try that now. You've just given me a new idea.
Well, we actually sell balloon pumps. Use code 2G would be for Jamie, find a sponsor. We gotta go.
I'm like, oh, you want to try it? It's in my top drawer.
Do you think it's a red flag if a dude has community sex toys?
What's a community sex?
Like he uses it on all of his women.
I definitely don't do that.
It's the same dude. He was a weirdo. He was a whore. He had the American dildo, like the giant one.
What's the
like red, white, and blue?
No.
You're saying this like I know what that is. What's the American dildo?
I think it's called like the American Dream or something. It's like a 2 foot fucking
2 foot long
double Coke can, like extra thick tall boy.
Oh, I was picturing just like a clone of Donald Trump's dick.
No, it's big.
with a toupee on top.
Yeah. Oh, cute.
The 48 stars. How many states are there? 50.
Yeah, smart.
I gotta go back.
Foreigner knows his shit. Wait, wait, back up.
So he has
there's
a
a
giant
there's a
dildo.
2 foot long dildo called.
I don't know. Maybe
The
it's not the
American
American.
Dream.
I thought it was like the American dildo or something. There was a name to it. Maybe that's what his name was for it. He's like,
Did it have? Was it
colonizing?
But it was colored with the stars and stripes.
No, it was just dick colored.
Oh.
It was like nude. Yeah.
I think it was like.
No.
Like
Some
white
full
picket fence.
4th of July, Captain America style
That's what I was
dildo.
picturing too.
Yeah, thank
Like
you.
white picket fences on it, and it just like explodes with fireworks when he
That's what I
comes.
thought.
Yeah.
That's nice. But he would use this on all of the girls, and he would suction cup it to his wall and like above his bed, and it was a prize toy, and I'm like, I don't know if you wash that. Like, what, you know what I'm saying?
okay,
That's been in so many vaginas.
But the key is, what he should be doing is putting a condom on it anytime he uses it. Then he doesn't necessarily have to wash it.
Oh.
That's what we used to do
Condoms on sex toys.
when we filmed for kink.com. That's what we did. All the Hitachis,
Yeah.
we always put a condom on the top.
What if she's
On the
a
front.
squirter and it gets everywhere?
Yeah, but it's not going to get on the bit that's going to contact her.
That's true.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's professional. That's what we used to do. We used to put condoms on all these things. Yeah. So they get a boring answer, but that's how you get around it. Basically.
Safe sex.
Yeah. So if you're gonna be a slut and as a dude and use the same sex toys amongst all the girls you see, put a fucking condom on them.
I think people aren't comfortable with that awkward period in between, like right when you're about to have sex or something where like they're not able to communicate like, hey, I'm actually going to put a condom on top of this so that you're like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
In the moment, so they don't do it. It's like so much easier to just stick it in and not talk about it.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not saying on my end, but a lot of people can't handle that communication and they don't know how to make it hot while they're doing it.
Well, the way you make it hot is you just do it.
You just put it on.
That's great advice.
But like,
advice.
but like seriously, like okay, if I'm going to use a Hitachi on you, right? While I'm doing other things to you, I pull the condom out, I put the fucking condom on the Hitachi, and I'm talking dirty to you the whole time, and then bang,
Yeah.
it's there.
Nice.
It's there. You've kind of seen it at the corner of your eye. You know it's safe, and it's also kind of hot in the fact that you know that I'm sexually safe
Yeah.
because I'm taking this little bit of extra step. I'm not a dirty bastard, and I'm doing it confidently. I'm doing it cleanly. It's like, okay, bang.
See, I wonder if women though would take that as like, oh, he does this often.
That's
Like,
what I was just
100%.
thinking.
And so then I'm like, ooh, how many people is even doing this to? And it's not just for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll 100% they will think that, yes.
Yeah, and men will think that about women too. You know.
But
He's like, I do this often, so you're right.
but it's not bad. I'm here to tell you it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mrs. and Mrs. Celibate.
Okay, so how do you negotiate free sex, like STD tests, using condoms?
I was like, what a term.
I don't negotiate with terrorists. What are you talking about?
Are women trying to fuck you?
bioterrorist?
It is a bioterrorist.
I
You
think
heard of
Ben-
super chlamydia?
People who pass STDs around on purpose and don't get tested, they are bioterrorists.
They are.
That is a fucking
That's so true.
Actually, I agree. I agree.
You
With
should go away.
That's a homegrown terrorist right there.
What is it called when you go against the
Treason?
treason? That's treason. Okay.
I don't think it's quite
Treason
true.
of this pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
Don't Benedict Arnold me. Benedict Arnold. Ah, wicked fresh. All right.
You know what? I can tell she started doing stand-up comedy since we saw her last.
She's like on it.
It's getting better.
You're
It's getting
quick.
better.
You're quick.
She's so quick. Like
Yep.
she's way quicker than me too. And I've been doing it for a long time. Like that's where she excels is like the
sweet.
crowd work and the talking to people and like saying something
know
really
why?
quick. Why?
The N62s.
It's the titties.
The
They're
titties.
pumping so many hormones that your brain is just
Exactly. If you think,
Bum bum.
do you know the story of Achilles?
No.
Let me tell you. I've been reading the Iliad from Homer, ancient Greek story.
like
Okay.
a scholar here.
Achilles
Yeah.
was half human, half god.
But his ankle.
Was his weakness.
Do you know why that was his weakness?
Because they dipped him into the pot and they could only grab hold of his ankle.
Into a river, yes.
Oh.
His mother, who was a god, dipped him into a river, blessed him, right? And then he got shot in the Achilles tendon by an arrow.
That wouldn't
Your-
kill you though.
It killed him.
Fucking idiot.
Your tits are your Achilles
Heel.
heel.
You lose those things, you're not funny anymore.
Bingo.
You know, guys say, "Oh, she only has to show her tits to be funny." That's true. Okay,
Yep.
keep on.
Yep. I'm telling you. I'm trying to save you, Emily.
You're trying to save my comedy career.
Everything.
Keep the titties. I'm saying other comedians would say cut them off because they think you'd do better without them. I say
Nope.
keep them.
Yep. I keep segueing back to your tits.
Yep.
What were we talking about?
You told me to leave them out today. I was wearing a t-shirt and you were like, get the titties out.
I told both of you to get your titties.
I know. He's like, take your jacket off. I was like, I was trying to be.
No.
A good girl.
Oh.
I just want to be loved, okay? I want a husband. I don't want someone who just looks at my tits.
Well,
Your
Your husband-
husband's gonna look at
your
your
husband
tits.
will look at your tits.
You're gonna want them to want to look at your tits.
Correct.
True.
Yes, Black.
A husband that like just ignored your tits.
I
You
would
have
cry.
these magical cannons on you, and he just doesn't touch them.
I would
See?
try.
Exactly.
Do you want to cry, Emily?
Yeah, actually, I haven't felt anything in a while, so I think it's necessary,
That's so dark.
but so true.
So wait, we were talking about
What were we talking about?
what, like how you get ready for.
Negotiating with terrorists. How do you negotiate like STD tests and shit like that before hooking up with someone?
It doesn't really happen.
It's like I just fuck girls that I wouldn't need to get tested with.
No, I mean, well, to be fair, I get tested quite regularly. So if
What's quite regularly
well, I used to get tested every 2 weeks when I was in the
working.
industry. But no, I don't work 3 months, pretty much.
Every quarter.
Yeah, at least
You're like, you file your taxes and get an STD test.
exactly. But I actually think that the average across the population, how many people do you think have ever actually had an STD test?
Not
That's
many.
so crazy.
It's going to be less than 50%.
I know
Yeah.
some people who have never gotten tested, and I'm
Exactly.
like, and I know you're fucking. Oral sex is the leading cause of throat cancer now.
Isn't that
You
insane?
need to get throat cancer from sucking dick or eating pussy than you are from vaping or smoking.
Well, listen, what a way to
That's
fucking go.
crazy.
Oh God!
So what are some like things? The last time you were here, you had 4 girlfriends. How's
last time I was-
how's your community
When
going?
was I here? I can't remember when I was here.
I think it was in the beginning of
Must
the
have been
year.
like the beginning.
Was it before your birthday?
I don't know. It was, yeah, I think it was like January or February.
Had to be.
Yeah. Full term pregnancy in between since you've been here.
You were talking about
Beautiful
having
thing.
kids. Have you had kids?
Sadly, no.
Oh, damn.
But the reason I haven't had kids yet is because I had to fire all 4 of those girlfriends.
So you're starting over.
Yeah, my,
Oh.
my standards had drastically changed.
Okay.
in
Okay.
those- in-
So what are
Since
what are
15.
the standards?
I want my kids to kind of look like me, look like their mother. I want my kids to come from like a similar cultural background as me. So like American, Australian, British, maybe Canadian, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They're kind of pussies. So
yeah,
maybe
they
not.
are.
But primarily like Australian, American, British, I would accept.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's because like that's where I come from, really.
So, what are your requisites besides geographically for the
Geographically.
mother of your child?
Also, like passports are a thing.
Oh, having a passport?
No, so like if I'm from Australia, so if I have kids with someone from like England or America, like my kids will get a different passport. Like
Oh,
they'll
that's
get-
good.
I'm thinking I'm multiple steps ahead of you. I'm thinking
Mhm.
so many.
Yeah.
Oh, cool! My kids will get 2 passports. That's
Yeah.
helpful. That's
It is.
beneficial, right?
Mhm.
I'm like plain white toast. I'm super boring. I've got 1 passport. But
Yeah.
if I can mix some other passports in here,
More opportunity for the
exactly,
kid.
like more flexibility, more
Yeah.
geographic opportunity, no need for like visas and all this stuff. Like they
Yeah.
can travel where they like, free of like. Let's just say hypothetically, wherever I end up, cool. Like it turns to shit, nuclear war, whatever.
Yeah.
You got like
Yep.
4 passports. Get out of town. You're good. My
I
kids are
literally
safe.
thought about that. I was like,
Right.
all I have is an American passport, and we're fucked, and this country is fucked.
That's why I'm working on.
We're so
I'm
fucked.
working on 2 other ones right now, which will help with that. That's why.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for me.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I've seen enough of the world. I don't really need to travel much more. I'm doing it for my kids. That
Yeah.
I haven't even had yet. So I'm thinking steps ahead.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's so important.
That's very important. What are things that like, okay, so say you're like going on dates with a girl and you've been seeing her for a little bit. What would be a reason, like, as you're doing that it was an instant, like, no, this isn't going to work out?
Ooh. I was going to say smoke weed.
It takes
And
it.
then I realized what podcast I was in.
If that's a real answer, that's a real answer.
I mean, to be fair, it's 9 times out of 10. It's a real answer. Just because I've worked, it comes from my work because I've worked with so many girls in California who they would smoke a bit of weed before a scene. And they were just insufferable.
Why?
They don't know where their pussy is.
Wait.
Oh, they're like, oh, they can't handle their high and they're kind of like out of it.
It's that, and it's like they squirm. I know. Whenever I've had sex with a girl who's smoking weed, if they're high at the time, they squirm and like move their pussy out in the wrong, like away from your dick in the wrong direction.
Sometimes I run from the dick if it's too good. I'm like, I gotta go. This is too good. You know,
That's like if they hit your cervix or something. It's just like a quick angle where you're like, oh, all right.
that too.
No, I feel like for me, having sex high is amazing because I'm connected with my body more. So they say sometimes just smoke weed before like working out and not like get super high, but take a hit or 2 and then you feel like every muscle even more. And so when I'm about to have sex and I get high, now I'm like out of my head and I'm getting this like I feel it in my body and I just want to like connect with somebody more.
Mhm.
And I
think
feel everything more.
I think women definitely have that experience, but it's like I don't smoke weed, never smoke weed, so like I've never had that particular experience. So for me, it's always been like me sober with a girl who's having that experience, and it's just there's a massive disconnect.
That's okay.
One time, like I have had sex with somebody who was sober,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Oh, I have to be sober."
Huh.
What, like, which is fine, but also I was nervous. You know what I mean? I feel like usually if I'm like starting like to see somebody, it's like after we've gone on a couple of dates, we've had some like drinks or wine, and it's like a moment, and then you have sex. It's not like just, you know what I mean? I don't know.
That's why like drinking like lubricates social activities. That's why like drinking tends to lead to sex, right? I get that, but if I'm going to be in a relationship with a woman,
You have to have sober sex.
because you kind of alluded to it just then, like maybe there's going to be some like tension or insecurity there with her and her own body and sex in general. I need to know where that is.
Yeah,
So that's where sober sex comes in. So I can find those spots.
yeah,
Like, okay, well, we need to massage this shit out.
yeah.
So
That's
you
so
can relax as like I want you to be as relaxed with me sober as you would be
Drinking
drunk or high.
for sure.
You need to be calm and free of anxiety and chill and enjoying and present.
Well, then I'm like, oh, if I can't have sober sex with you, then you're not the one.
correct.
That's also true.
Because like there's something
That's also
about
true.
like them that doesn't make me feel comfortable.
Bingo.
Because it's not like there's different people where I'll feel super comfortable and like nothing matters, and because they just make me feel safe. And then there's some people that I'm like thinking things in my head that I normally wouldn't be thinking, and I'm like, oh, a drink would be helpful, and it's like you shouldn't be having sex with that person. You know,
I don't think I've had sober sex in quite some time.
that's like all I have. I feel like in the past year.
Here's my thing. I get super weird about like sexual. Can talk about sex all day. Actually
Yeah.
doing it,
It's
I
No
get
way.
nervous.
Scary.
What? No.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Let's say what?
teasing.
Let's say what?
It's written all over your face, Sterling.
Put those inbred eyeballs away, sir. Okay.
I'm gonna take a
Thank you
hit.
very much.
So
Fine. That took 30 minutes.
Yeah, I had one right before we started.
This podcast is literally called Two Girls, One Blunt. And it's taking 30 goddamn minutes for you guys to take a hit.
we got high before we started.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, fine.
We only do you want to smoke a cigar?
A
Cigarillo. Cigarillo.
If you have a lighter, sure.
Yes, I can pass it to you in a moment.
Yeah, no,
very
I'm actually,
formal.
I told you before this, I was like, I'm not having a drink. I'm taking like November. I want to quit vaping because that's disgusting. And I'm not going to be able to quit vaping if I'm drinking. I already know that. So I'm going to quit drinking and vaping.
I'm going to do a half of November sober.
Huh.
Yeah. And then I also like
It's not
with
really a
that,
thing.
I want to cleanse out my lungs. So I have like a bunch of teas and things that are supposed to like get rid of all the mucus because I want to do singing and I can't sing and smoke.
Mm-mm.
So all of it kind of has to start going bye-bye. Not saying I'm not going to smoke, guys, but I'm going to definitely smoke less.
I also think I'm going to be smoking less and partaking less in drinking and all of that shit.
Yeah.
You guys get fucking boring.
No, I know.
I'm
So, like,
joking.
I have like all the fucking business shit that we're
Covering up
doing.
your titties, not drinking, not smoking anymore.
There's a bunch of men who go on podcasts and they're like, you're not worthy if your tits are out. And so then we're listening on how to become wise. And then we're sitting here and you're like, why aren't you fun anymore?
I'm deliberately confusing you.
Like, what do you want?
We want both.
Want both. Yeah.
It's called the Madonna-whore.
Like-
It's the Madonna-whore complex.
Yes, so for
How do you
public.
find the middle?
Ha.
Yes, how do we find the middle?
The sweet spot. But that exists for both men and women.
Really?
I agree.
So women have to struggle with the Madonna-whore complex that men have. So men lust after the whore, right? The girl who shows her ass, shows her titties, whatever. And the virgin Madonna who is untouched, no one has access to, she's the perfect wife, whatever. Doesn't exist, right? The middle ground between the two is actually the ideal that men go after because they want to have a wife or a girlfriend or long-term partner, whatever, who is sexually desirable and super sexually attractive to them, but no one else has access to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a balance between the Madonna and the whore. Now, women have the opposite problem. I know the answer, but let's see if you know the answer. What are the two things that women... The two
I want a man who's
dichotomies?
wanted by every woman, but I'm the one who gets him.
Bingo.
Oh, I was going
And
to say
also
something totally
sexually
different.
experienced.
Bingo.
Yeah.
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 Because if you're not fucking me good, then like I'm gonna be like, fuck. Remember
Lame.
Johnny 10 years ago? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay, so instead of Madonna-whore complex, it's like the father-daddy complex. You want a man who can be a little bit of your father, but also a little bit of like a dirty daddy in the sheets.
Oh, okay. Like, so yeah, daddy means like...
And father's
Yeah.
like protector,
Yeah.
take care of you. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. So it's basically it's the difference between it's the dichotomy between being a provider and like the nurturing provider safety guy who takes care of you, and the guy who is like gets you wet between the legs.
Yeah, like
The
a
guy
bad boy.
the bad boy who every girl's lusting after. The ideal man is the combination of those two things.
Yes.
Yes.
A
truly
provider,
is.
but also an asshole.
Bingo.
Oh, I love assholes. But not like
Oh.
actual assholes. It's
You-
like banter asshole.
that sentence, I love assholes, but not actual assholes, is literally the female encapsulation, the
Yeah.
female description of exactly what I'm saying.
Like you want a man who's kind but not nice.
I want to make this nice
Bingo.
to me and mean to other people.
Yes.
You're getting it. You're getting it.
Okay, so
You're
what is
describing, but you're like, if a dude was listening to this, like that wasn't me, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
The average guy is like, the fuck are these women talking about? The average guy is going to be so frustrated hearing those sentences that just came out of your mouth.
Okay.
And I get exactly what you're saying, and you're saying it. You said it correctly.
But
Yeah.
I know men who are like that, but when I say they're not assholes, like they're opening doors for you. Like they're
Bingo.
taking you out. They're respectful. They're
Yep.
like they just treat you with respect. They communicate, but there's something about them that's a little edge that you're like, yes, sir.
What's this thing?
That'll get your pussy throbbing. Bro, that
Which bit? Which bit?
all of it. The combination, the finding the fine line of being an asshole but not an asshole too much, but also kind but not kind enough.
Do you think that not being a pushover is kind of puts you more in the asshole category? Is it like you won't take bullshit from anyone, you'll stand your ground, you'll have boundaries, you'll tell people like if
Yeah.
let's say the waiter fucked, it's a really practical example. The waiter fucked up his order and he says, "Sorry, ma'am, no, this wasn't what I ordered. Can you please change this?" Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Someone who has boundaries and enforces those boundaries. Does that make him? Does that put him? Where's that put him? Is
It depends on how he speaks about that. The way you spoke about that boundary, very appropriate. If he was like, "Hey, fuck you, you got my order wrong," completely completely different.
I'd be so dry if that's how someone
I'm
talks.
gonna.
Just like you killed my steak. Yeah, no, like, but if he was like, hey, this isn't what I ordered, or in a less pussy way, because I sound like a pussy right now.
No,
But just setting that boundary is so
in
important.
so many situations with men, especially this year, and it's so obvious. Like there are certain men, like we have like in our group of friends as well, right? Like for my birthday party, there was some men who stood around and saw me and Emily trying to like move really heavy umbrellas, like concrete. You need like 4 people to move them.
Yeah.
And we're trying. And some dude's sitting there watching all the other dudes like do it. And I was like, that's a weak man right there. And as I got to know him, I was like, oh, he's so feminine. He wanted the women to do everything, or like he's like, oh, I'm lazy, I don't want to do anything. And I was like, ew.
That's like the Electra complex, where he's like into his mom and he wants to be taken care of. No.
What complex?
Electra? Oedipus Electra? Oedipus is where he ended up fucking his mother. It's a Greek myth. Electra ended up fucking
the
his
Oedipus
mother.
complex. Yes.
Yes.
That I know. Yes.
And
Correct.
Electra's the opposite.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Yeah. Cool. That's yes. Correct. I agree. But okay, here's the. I will play devil's advocate
Okay.
because it's always fun to do that, especially with you two.
Look at the little mischievous
I
twinkle
know,
in his
I
eyes.
Emily, nice jug.
Are you judging me?
No, nice
Oh,
jug.
nice jug.
Get it?
These are N62s, baby.
I set you up. Come on. It's a layup. I would assume the reason why a lot of guys would act like that in that situation, like two women are going to move this furniture, and I'm going to sit back and not do anything. Oh, most men, since I've been a kid, have been disincentivized to be a quote unquote gentleman in the traditional sense, to be chivalrous, shall we say, because of what we just talked about, like that balance between being the asshole and being the gentleman. That balance, you have to be in the middle.
Yeah.
If you're full gentleman, you're a pussy. You're smiling. You know it's true.
It's true.
You know it's true. If you're full gentleman and there's none of that bad boy, there's no edge to you.
Yeah.
There's none of that. There's nothing that gets you wet between the legs. There's nothing that excites you. If you're just full gentleman, that guy's dud.
Nah, see, I like my men a little bit sexist. Honestly, like just a little bit, because you have to be just sexist and misogynistic enough to
You'll take care of me.
Yeah, you'll take care of me, to want to provide and protect for me, and I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Point.
I like one of my friends on my Instagram story, because I was like, I will never propose to a man. You will never catch me doing that shit. And he's like, Emily, I didn't know you were traditional. And I was like, that's because you don't know me in context of a relationship. But we're both very
You know
like
us as characters online.
exactly. We're both very like feminine. We want to receive and we want to nurture. Like there are different things that men and women do in relationships that are both equally important.
Yeah.
You know, there are just some things that men shouldn't do. Like be nice.
No, here's the thing. Here's what.
That's the most honest answer I've ever heard. Oh.
Yeah, it would be. It's like kind of hot if a guy's like, "Shut up."
Okay, that's actually a great example.
In a specific like moment, like especially too like where it's
shut up, you're overreacting. Shut up, calm down. It's not that big a deal. I'll handle it.
Yes.
I was like, okay, we're missing something there, but you just
Okay,
because there's times where like men have told me to shut up or like kind of put me in my place about something, but as they were doing that, they were showing me that they were gonna like take care of it, or they're like, hey, it's not as big of a deal as it is. You're doing great. You're awesome. We're gonna get through this together. Forehead kiss, and I'm like, oh, okay. That's like you're kind of putting me in my place, but you're being really sweet and gentleman about it. A lot of guys don't know how to
do both.
do that.
Yeah, because they've been taught that women are exactly the same as men.
Well, here's the thing with the advent of like the I'm a strong, independent woman. That's when men were like, oh, well, I can't provide for them in that way because they don't want that. So
I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a strong, independent woman. Well, what am I here for? The fuck do I need to do?
Yeah.
See, I feel like I am independent and stuff, but there's a lot that a man could do. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of roles that they could take off my plate so I could be a beautiful woman in a field
Oh,
in a dress.
be in a field.
You know?
I just want to frolic.
I want to create art and suck dick for a living.
We're here. We're put on this earth to create life, to create art, to create beauty, to be muses for men.
Yeah.
For that.
Correct.
Why can't we do that anymore?
Because people were like, we shouldn't have to do that. And I'm like, do you know how nice it is when you are that, though?
So
I'm tired.
Mm.
Like,
oh, surprise, surprise.
but it's
No, I had a guy the other day say the hottest thing any man has ever said to me. He messaged me about like podcast issues that we were having. He solved one of the issues for like editing. He solved the other issue for the camera. And he goes, your problems really aren't that complicated. He goes, let daddy know when you have a problem and I'll take care of you. And I go, oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah, that's hot.
That was so hot. A little bit of an asshole.
Was it really an asshole? Me hearing that, the first thought that comes to my mind isn't asshole. The thought that comes to my mind is, oh, a man who knows what he's doing and takes charge.
Yeah.
Which is so hot.
Which is hot. But now that's somehow been misconstrued as being an asshole.
No.
He's not being an asshole. He's actually helping you, for God's sake.
I just think somebody could take like him being like, your problems aren't that complicated as like a rude thing. But I was like, oh, you're right. They aren't. Thank you for solving it.
Anyone who interprets that like that is a complete pussy.
Yeah. I also feel like there's a lot of women who are just on the defense. I have been this woman many times, like growing up, where like somebody offers help and because you've had to do it yourself, you're like, oh, do you think I'm weak? Do you think I can't do this myself? And there's a lot of women who will like get angry at like guys trying to help. I don't need you to open the door for me. It's like, what the fuck? No one needs anyone to do anything.
Chill out, relax. Like, yeah, I'll open the door for guys and girls.
Yeah,
like, internalizing it and like putting a label on it and like putting meaning towards something that's actually just someone genuinely being nice.
Right.
It to me that kind of screams like insecurity.
It is insecurity, and I know that because I was insecure about shit like that. Yeah,
I remember during the pandemic because I was like, why are relationships not working? And I was so masculine and like, not that I'm like not, because I do like hustle and I'm working and you know what I mean? Like things like that. But in terms of my attitude towards men. And then I was like, oh, if you want a man, you actually have to like teach yourself how to not do this. I was watching YouTube videos, like ways to be like, you'll get the same response from a man, but how to do it differently. And I feel like that's so important.
Do you find that okay, on that topic, do you find that men are better at explaining this to a woman about how to, attract that, or women are better at explaining it?
All the people that I've learned from are women.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think it would be good to hear from men about that topic, but I also think in today's society, it's better to start yourself by listening to women, so at least you're open to the concept.
Who's listening? Who's the girl that everyone loves on TikTok?
Oh, Sprinkle.
I think she's a little it's too much of like use men for their money and things like that.
She like emasculates them a little.
Yeah, she like emasculates them a little. I don't like that. But the women that I saw, they would be like, okay, you want a guy to call you back after a date. Here's a couple of ways the date could have gone. Here's how you would normally respond. It's like, all right, well, we want the same. You want them to respect you or call you back after you had sex with them, whatever it is. Here's how to like word things differently. Use a different tone. I'm
here to tell you right now that like women don't actually need to play any of those games. Like women don't need to be.
It's not playing games. I think it's
like having emotional intelligence because we get like our words are so passionate. Sometimes it comes out wrong.
No, it's because women are looking at dating from their own perspective. So you're looking at dating. You're looking at what you do or respond to a guy from the same perspective as if a guy did that to you. So if a guy was super needy to you, it would turn you off. So you're thinking, oh, if I actually tell this guy I'm into him and I'm keen and I had a great time, love to see you again. You're thinking, oh, if a dude said that to me, I'm going to think he's a pussy. I'm turned off, right?
Actually, here's what I've been ingesting content-wise, and it's not like that, where it's like you're viewing it from the lens of what he would do. It's more about embracing your femininity. So I saw a TikTok video the other day where a woman was like, I used to ask guys to pick me up, and they would tell me they wanted me to get an Uber. She was like, I don't ask anymore. I assume. I send him my address, I send him my apartment number, and I say, please knock on the door when you get here so I know to come out.
That's cool.
And instead of being like, hey, can you please come pick me up? Like, here's my address, like sounding, it's like, hey, this is where I'll be. You can be the man and you can come to me if you want.
That in particular is quite a cultural thing. I found that Eastern European women like expect the guy to pick them up, whereas Western women don't.
Yes.
It's I will order an Uber happily for like a woman if I'm seeing her on a date, whatever. But yeah, and I'll do that for Eastern European women too. But it's not as common to have a woman from the Western culture, like America, Australia, England, whatever, want that. It's nowhere near as common as what I've noticed in like Romania, Ukraine, Poland. Very, very common there.
I had a guy tell me I was high maintenance because I described a date to him that went wrong where I saw red flags. I was like, he didn't open the door for me. He didn't wait for me. He walked ahead of me. I was like, I don't want that in a relationship.
Well, okay, I will walk ahead, but I'm the one holding the door open afterwards.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But if you're consistently walking ahead of me when we're trying to talk and get to know each other, you're not walking on the outside of the street. You're not holding the door open for me.
Sense.
Those are all red flags.
That makes sense. As in, like, we're walking down a footpath and I'm ahead of you, not hand in hand. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. That's different.
It's like a sign of respect, and I like that in a relationship.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm walking a girl down, like let's say we got out of the Uber and I'm walking to the restaurant, cool. It's arm in arm to the restaurant. Easy. And then I'm walking through the door first, holding it open while she comes in. That's just how I do it.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm able to be a gentleman because I know that if a woman's on a date with me, she's attracted to me. I've been through the ringer enough times to kind of know. But unfortunately, the average guy who's quite inexperienced with women will definitely get taken advantage of on the average date more often than not. And it's just what we're seeing. I don't just know that because we're seeing it reflected in like the way the guys are resonating with certain content. They're like, oh, I took a girl on a date, nothing happened, she wasn't interested in me. It was a foodie call, that kind of stuff. I'm not a foodie call, right? But a lot of guys end up being the foodie call.
Wait, a foodie call?
Yeah,
like you want someone to take you out to dinner.
It's the opposite of a booty call. So you get the dude takes her out on a date, she gets dinner, and then nothing physical whatsoever.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, foodie call.
But we had a friend who did that.
Girlfriends who did that, and we just like didn't like. We don't like to hang out with women that are like, I don't know,
like that.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, what can you do for me? Or we're like, oh, we're gonna go hang out with these people, and they're like, are they paying us? And I was like, well, I'm not an escort. So no, or you're just like, gonna go hang out and have a pool day. What do you mean?
We're not fucking these people.
Yeah. I think another green flag I'd say, if we had this question a while ago, but if I'm looking to date a woman, like, okay, cool. Usually I'll take a woman out for dinner on the first date. I do that now. I wasn't doing that in my 20s.
That's what I'm saying. Were you always, when you're saying like I open the door and I do this, you weren't always like that? Nope. When was the change for you to be becoming more of a man in that way?
Probably in my 30s. Like my late 20s, 30s, I started adopting more gentlemanly behaviors because I started to recognize that women were treating me very differently. Once I hit 28, 29, women were treating me very differently.
What's the difference?
A lot more respect, more attracted to me just because I was an older, more experienced gentleman. So because there was the respect there, I was able to be gentlemanly. If there's no respect there up front, if a guy is gentlemanly and there's no respect, then he's getting taken advantage of. He's a simp.
Where do you find that women are not respecting men in those regards? Like when you say you're not receiving respect, what are the women doing?
Not following your lead, talking back. If you're saying, hey, we're going to meet here this time, wear this, she's going to argue or disagree. It's subtle things. It's subtle things. Which, unfortunately, you can only really learn these subtleties from experience as a guy. With women, you don't need anywhere near as much experience to learn all these little subtleties. Because guys kind of need that, to, at least nowadays, to kind of navigate this a bit better. Otherwise, they're going to get screwed over.
Yeah. I think, too, though, with women, like, especially when I was younger, there was younger men who, I'm, like, dating guys my age, and they're not as mature and whatever, and so we get hurt by those people, and so then they're on guard. So when there is somebody that's like respectful and stuff, they're kind of like on guard even in that way, because they haven't been with people who are like really mature.
That's
you know what I mean?
The transition for a woman, like going from like younger heartbreak, skipping over the fuckboy phase, and going to like the mature gentleman, who can treat her well, gives her what she wants. Is that balance between, let's say, arsehole and gentleman? He's that balance, right? Ideally, a woman skips over all the bullshit in between. Because it takes men a while to get to that stage, generally. It's very, very rare for a guy to be like 21 and he instantly is there.
Yeah.
Super rare.
I wish I told younger me to skip that phase and just like date somebody who had their shit together. Because you don't like realize... Do you know what I'm saying? I remember talking to my sister and a couple other girls like this, and I was like, there's not even worth it. I'm like, get someone who has your shit together. They've been through the ringer. They know everything. So they're serious about you because it's not worth it.
Okay, would you say that women in their 20s like should just kind of like date around, not necessarily fuck everybody, like play the field, have fun, and then settle down when the men they're into are closer to like 30, 35?
Women have a choice to make. Younger women, right? Let's say 18 to like 22. These women have two real choices. One, they back a horse, right? They find a guy who they think has potential, who's their age.
I tried that.
And they stick by him.
Me too.
And that is a gamble. It's a gamble.
Yeah.
But like, okay, the benefit of that gamble is you start a family earlier.
Yeah.
And you can have a bigger family. You can have a really, really happy family life together. You're both the same age. You get to enjoy time with the kids when they're young. You're closer in age to your kids, basically, right? That's the gamble that you take as a young woman. Do I back this horse?
Mm-hmm.
This guy my age, is he actually going anywhere? That's the choice, right? The other option that young women have is you don't do that and you go for like a dude who's older, who's established, who has his shit together already.
Mm-hmm.
He'll happily take care of you, and you have kids with him. Okay, well then he's going to be in his 50s when the kids are like in their teens, so he's not as able to like play sports with them, be physically active with them, just because he's getting older. That's what the case I had with my dad, where it's like, but that's the choice you kind of have to make, I think.
Yeah.
I took the wrong horse.
I did.
That's the risk. You back the wrong horse sometimes.
I dated someone for 8 years, like from 14 to 22.
Which is commendable, I think. It's
Yeah,
a bad thing.
it was like a military relationship. We like communicated through letters for like months and everything.
Romantic.
Oh, I was so romantic. And then he had too close of a relationship with his mom, who did not like me because I was Jewish and she was like Christian. And
that was too much.
And I came from a like bad family, and so she like put that on me, and he could never stick up for me to his mom.
Interesting.
And it happened when my mom ended up like going into cardiac arrest and was put into a medically induced coma while I was in college. And they said I'm like her proxy, so they said that she wasn't gonna wake up, and I had to come and pull the plug and do all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
So I call him. We're not dating at this time, but he's in my town. I was like, and my brother and sister have no one, and I'm like, can you? He's like, I'll be right there. So he goes there, and for 2 weeks, my mom's in a coma, and his mom didn't call or text once. I was like, I dated your son for 8 years, and my mom's dying. And then she tried to come over after, like, with cookies and stuff. And that was the last time I was like, I was never disrespectful to his mom. And I was like, get out of my house. Cause like, this was the moment where you could have stepped up, and you're the church lady. So you should have. And so I broke up with him after 8 years, and I couldn't be with him because I don't have a close family. And that's how his mom, I couldn't have kids with someone who
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's a dynamic I haven't really had to deal with since I was like in high school, like the parent dynamic.
Yeah.
That's an entirely different hurdle for people to overcome. It's a dynamic between like, oh, what does her dad or mother think of me?
Here's my thing. I was abused as a child. I didn't really have like a family unit. So when I date, I look for somebody who treats his family well and who might have a family that I can kind of marry into.
Right.
I'm curious to see, do men consider that when they look at women? Do you look at their family?
I look at the relationship between her and her dad. 100%.
Mine's dead.
I mean, but when he was alive, what was like those are kind of probing questions. I will absolutely like.
What are you looking for in that regard?
I went on a date with a girl recently back in Spain who like her dad wouldn't let her out the house, and I'm like, green flag, yes,
That's a green flag.
yes,
Okay.
that's a good dad. That
is
dad
he
is looking
controlling?
after her. He wouldn't let her out the house. She wasn't allowed out the house unless she was with her dad or her brother. I'm like,
How'd you go on a
giant
date?
green flag.
Then how'd you go on a date?
I'm convincing.
So you talked to the dad?
Nope.
Interesting.
She wanted to go on the date with me so much that she convinced her mother, who then convinced her dad to let her out the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you dating her now?
It took 4 months.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You're like, that's a woman I want to
But
marry.
I got the date. Now she doesn't like me because I ignored it for like a day.
Oh.
Whatever.
A day?
A day, whatever. Where? Next. Anyway, but the point is,
Next.
point is, well, I learned, but there's a lesson. There's a lesson in it.
Okay.
Lesson
Sorry.
is like that because if I'm a dad, that's exactly how I'm gonna behave.
I would want,
Honestly.
I don't want to marry. I also think about too, like everyone's like, oh, I just need to find a partner. And I'm like, no, you need to find a father of your children. Like not a partner. Cause they could be a great partner and they could be a shitty dad or like,
Correct.
you know? And so like, I wouldn't want to be with somebody that also like didn't care about the well-being of the kids.
That is actually the reason I broke up with one of my longer term exes. Is I didn't think she would. And this is literally what broke us up. We were having an argument or something, and like she asked me what was wrong, and I said I don't think you'll be a good mother.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah,
That would
that's-
kill me.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Why were the
I was
reason?
too honest. But in retrospect, that was the correct thing to do. In retrospect, it was true at the time. Maybe she's changed. I hope she has, and I hope she's great.
What were the things you saw in her that you wouldn't consider good mother traits?
Slept in too much.
That makes sense.
Okay, I see that.
No, but like if you're gonna take care of a baby, you can't sleep in.
You got to be up.
Yeah, being generally lazy, like not motivated, not like up and about, not very active, physically active. She wasn't out of shape, but I think she had good genetics because of that. But still, you have to be active to like take care of kids. That was a big one. That's the first few that come to my head.
Okay.
That was probably one of the harshest things I've probably ever
That's a rough say.
Yeah. Judging by your reactions too, that tells me exactly how
I think
and I knew it was harsh.
I've always just been insecure that I would be like my mother. And I made a promise to myself at a very young age that I would never react how she reacted to a child because I would never want to put anybody through what I went through. So that's like just like a core wound of mine from not having a mother that I never want to be a bad mother.
Yep.
So I strive to have like the exact opposite of her traits.
I think too, though, we like think being a bad mom is just like the abusive part, but there's like habits and what you practice daily
Yes.
and things like that would dictate if
Like,
you're a
'cause
good mom or not.
One of the big things that a lot of the communities I hang out with, I associate with online, right? Let's say like Red Pill, dating, manosphere, whatever you want to call that community, they massively underrate how hard it is to be a mother. I've got a couple of very close friends who have kids, and I'm very good friends with their their wives. They are busting.
They're
like,
busting.
But this is the difference between men and women. Like they are so patient,
Yeah.
so incredible, and women have that patience for their kid. If I had to sit there and watch like some stupid fucking kids cartoon on repeat again and again and again, it would drive me fucking insane.
Yeah.
But women have the patience for it. They can do it.
Yeah.
It's their kid, and they love it unconditionally.
Yep.
And that's important. It's important to respect that and acknowledge that and understand being a mother's stupidly hard work.
It's so hard.
It ain't as easy as dudes think it is,
No.
but it's easier for women to do that than it is for men to do that. So we should respect the fact that we have different proclivities. We have different like traits. We have different strengths.
Yes.
Men aren't patient in that way. Women certainly are. Excellent. Be the mother. Stay at home. Take care of the kids. Because I'm going to lose my shit if I'm in that situation. But you won't.
It's so crazy too. I was just talking to one of my guy friends, and he's like a successful business owner. He had a couple long-term girlfriends, and I was like, "Well, what's the criteria?" And he gave me a list of criteria, and I was just like, "It's so funny because when we were younger, especially when I was younger, I was like, I want to get married. Like I was like 22, being like, I want to have a husband, all these things, but I was not a wife." And I didn't realize that until I got older and I looked back and I was like, oh my God, there was no way you were ready for any of that, but you wanted it so bad. And it took me like becoming an adult to be like, okay, now I have to actually start taking the steps. And I sent him a voice note and I was like, am I going to be able to just like cook together appetizers for you and your buddies when you watch football and like be able to do that well and then go on my merry way? And I'm like, back then I didn't even know how to cook.
Yeah,
and I was like, he's like, that's invaluable. Like,
but I think I think if you want to do something, you'll learn it.
Yeah.
If you want to be a wife and a mother, you'll figure it out.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like
Well, that's what I'm saying. As an adult, as I'm growing, I'm like, okay, I've spent years being like, it's time to start figuring it out.
You can learn on the job.
Yeah,
That's
true.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not worried about the mom part. I'm worried about like the just cooking.
cooking part.
Not where like
Sometimes I forget like how to cook. Like last Thanksgiving,
We
Jamie,
always are cooking.
I know, but you had food poisoning though, and it threw me for a loop. And I literally,
On Thanksgiving.
we've cooked the Thanksgivings for the past 4 years, like just us.
We host
We know how
all
to
the
cook.
holidays, like for misfits, people who aren't family. So we're like, where everyone comes here.
It's very cute
It's
and wholesome,
cute.
except for when we black out and get tattoos. Like sometimes that happens.
We brought everyone to a tattoo
Please tell
shop.
me that it was like a turkey you tattooed.
We got this, and she.
Oh, I got
That's
this
not
one.
a turkey.
No, we do turkey.
No, is it the tattoo should have been a turkey,
Oh, that'd be so funny.
Oh,
right? Because it's
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'll get
Like
matching
we all
turkey
get the
tattoos.
matching one.
that would have been
We
cute.
wake up and it's just like, why do I have a
Why
turkey?
do I have a turkey on my leg?
We each have a different piece of the turkey on our body. Like,
What?
That's even
That's
better
even
idea.
better. That's even better.
I got a drumstick, you got a wing. That would have been gold.
That's so funny.
Oh, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, sometimes I worry about cooking for men. I'm like, I hope you love me.
I know. Oh
It's
my
the
god.
fact, it doesn't even matter. The fact that you're doing it. It doesn't. It literally does not
Is
matter.
it the thought that counts?
Bing. Yes.
Is it
100%.
because no? Because a guy I cooked for a man once, and he's a picky eater, which is also an ick.
Yeah, but he can
But-
correct you.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, are you hungry? Like, I started making food, and I made like a whole breakfast, or I made a whole dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and he did not eat the dinner. He's like, oh, I actually don't. I'm picky, and I don't eat these things. And I was like,
Was he a vegan?
no, he was just like a
Red flag.
picky eater. Yeah, and I was just like, I just made you like potatoes and chicken and
It was
veggies.
a great
It was
meal.
a great
It was a
meal.
great meal.
And he just like picked at it, and I was like, old me was like, I'm never cooking for a man again. But then I was like, you know what? Somebody else will appreciate
Yeah,
this.
that's the wrong.
Yeah, and then that was also like, okay, not the one. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I was like,
Even if you fuck up cooking, it can also be a bonding moment. Like I had a guy I was dating and I fucked up the carrots and like he talked about that, but he also appreciated that I made food, you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
Like it can be a funny thing.
The effort that women put in absolutely matters. Like you notice it because guys never get things done for them. They never get compliments.
They never get flowers.
They never get flowers. Like the average guy remembers the one time
Mm.
some grandma at the checkout counter said he looked lovely.
Oh.
They'll remember that shit for 10 years.
yeah.
Because it's hard for a woman to understand that because you guys get attention all the time from
All the
guys.
time.
But the average man will latch onto that shit and he'll identify with it. That will be like a building block for his self-esteem. That
But what-
one time grandma said it looked cute or
Well,
whatever.
You know
So
what
like
they
putting
say?
the effort in, like you said, it actually makes a difference. And if a guy doesn't respect that, if a guy's like doesn't even put the effort into like trying it, I think you made the correct decision.
To back off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember because like when I was younger, I used to do that. Like in college, I remember I had a one night stand. I was making breakfast and I like cooked them breakfast and they were like, this girl wants to marry me. And I was like, we're people. We just had sex. I'm hungry. You're not hungry. We both got to go to class. So I think like when I was younger, I was more willing to kind of like give in that regard. And then you get like, it's not appreciated. So that I see a lot of people, especially my age now, who are just tired of it.
Mhm.
That-
So they don't do it. But we've been having conversations with our friends where like, you got to make men feel special. They have to know that you want them. That's very important. And it doesn't make us weak or less than
No,
or
no.
any of those things by us going out of our way to make a man feel special.
That is the tragedy of this whole situation. Is like you back then in college making a guy breakfast the next day. That's like if I got with a woman now at 36, I'm ready to like I want kids. I'm like if I saw that, I'm like that's wifey material instantly, right? But the guy you were with at that time, younger guy, wasn't thinking that shit at all.
Yeah.
You were doing the correct thing. Everything you did was correct. He was not ready for that commitment. He wants to play the field,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the problem is that then you take that as, oh, I'm doing something wrong. Right. And you adjust your behavior accordingly, which most people do.
Yeah.
The problem is then you go through this fucking whole series of fuckboys or whatever. Because you're reacting to because your judgment is wrong because you're like your interpretation is like, oh, if I do nice things for a guy,
They think I'm easy or in love with
Yeah.
them or like
Bingo.
or needy. And I'm like, I'm just a nice person. This
Yes.
is what I want to do for you.
Because women
by default,
nurture.
you were correct.
Yeah.
And then you adjust your behavior like, oh, I did something wrong by being a nice person.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have to be like combative, or I have to like withhold my affection.
Toxic, and I don't want to be toxic, but now I'm like trying to play this game with you that I don't even want to be playing.
And then you've come full circle again, and now you're like, well,
no,
actually,
I was wifey.
I was wifey material. You were. I was wifey material then, and I'm going to repeat that behavior again.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's it. It's
well, it's
so
like a never-ending cycle that we think they're playing games, so we play games, so then they play. It's just constant, never-ending bullshit.
To be fair, women play the games first.
You think?
They do.
I think what we do is we overthink, and then we put the game playing on them when they might not even be doing that. So we're playing ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correctly. You over interpret, over analyze what's going on. You think like men are not that complicated. If a man does something, he means it. Right? If I take you out to dinner, I like you.
Yeah.
If I buy you flowers, I like you. If I text you, I like you. Like, it's really fucking straightforward, right? And women will try to add like a second meaning. Oh, he said this, he did that. What does that mean? Like, no. The thing is the meaning. Like, I did it.
Take it at face value.
Yeah, exactly. Probably the best advice people. Take it at face value.
I had a dude who did all that shit, and then he fucking ghosted me, and he was like, "You're too clingy," and I'm like, "You picked me up after surgery, bought me food, got everything delivered to my house, made sure I was okay." He was doing the actions, and it was not what he wanted.
It sounds retarded.
And that's when I realized how closed off I was, because one of the last things he said to me was, "You never cooked for me." Ooh. And he was upset about that. And he was like, I
did cook for him.
We did.
Multiple times.
But he was picky, which was fucking annoying.
Yeah.
We could only have grass-fed fucking grass. Like, go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah, we've cooked for him multiple times. He just didn't want to eat what we were making. We cooked for everyone.
Who's got a bodybuilder? What's going on?
No.
Is it broccoli and chicken? Or what's the deal?
I made like a very Massachusetts like pasta salad, and he was from Massachusetts, so he was probably like, "It reminds me of my abusive mother." And I'm like, "Me too, dude, but it still tastes fucking great, so go fuck yourself." And then we made like fried zucchini, which is it's amazing.
So when we cook it. It's my favorite thing to make.
It's really good.
I love making fried zucchini. Yeah. And it's a great app when we like have people over, because you can just take one and then dip it in a sauce. And so
we made it drunk the other night, and we were just like walking around feeding everything.
Every time we like go out drinking, we come back and we cook for everyone.
Yeah. It sounds like a bad mozzarella stick.
No,
it's really good.
He's like,
it's thinly sliced zucchini, and you bread it and season it and fry it. Okay, we'll make it for you after.
Yeah, we'll make it for you after.
He's like, I just wanted these bitches to cook for me. Get in the kitchen.
Okay.
Cooking is it's actually a big thing. One of the biggest things I've ever seen in any relationship I've been in is like random acts of kindness.
Yes.
Is a giant green flag.
Mm-hmm.
Again, back to the point I made before. Guys don't get compliments. They don't get nice things done for them. They don't get gifts. This does not happen. The average man does not have any of these things ever in his life. He just fucking grinds and works and has to fucking dig his way into success, right? So if you have a woman, and perfect example, I'm sitting at my desk, I'm working. Out of nowhere,
she sucks your dick.
That was also very pleasant, but this is a better example. I'm sitting there working, and randomly she comes out of nowhere and starts massaging me. She knows I'm stressed. She knows I'm working. And out of nowhere just starts giving me a shoulder rub. 10 out of 10, giant green flag. Yes, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Like little fucking things like that go so far.
They do.
If you want a man to fall in love with you, do that shit.
See, I do that shit.
We do both.
I literally, I'm like, the last person I was talking to, I like did that. It was the person I cooked for. It was like the same day. And I was just doing all these nice things. And I was like, oh, he doesn't like appreciate this. Or maybe he was, I try to like chalk it up like he's stressed right now. So I'm not, it's not me. It's not personal. But after like a couple of days, I was like, oh, this is just not, you're not even seeing this as valuable. You know what I mean? I've also had guys where I do all of that and they think it's like, they just misinterpret it because they don't receive love like that often.
Yep.
And so they're like, what the fuck is this? And it freaks them out.
Yep.
And I'm just like, we should all be pouring into each other like this.
What you're doing isn't wrong.
And I don't want to have to pull back that stuff because that's who I am. So I'm like, if you're not appreciative.
All that means is be more selective with the guys you're with.
Yeah,
that's what it means. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Because you're actually doing correct behaviors, loving behaviors. What it means, it just means be more selective.
I needed that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That was like 4 years of therapy right there.
Should I send you my copay? It's $40.
Oh, Jesus
It's
Christ.
considered telehealth because it's actually only 20.
I guess.
She's so sharp with it, right?
Comedian now. You're a comedian.
I'm a comedian. I just want to be like marvelous Mrs. Maisel and get to be like a housewife and take care of my family and my kids, but also get to do comedy on the side and be like, ba-ba, you know?
I feel like comedy is very masculine.
It is a very masculine industry.
But like, because all I see from, okay, two female comedians in front of me. I'm going to say something very...
All we do is
gonna
talk
be sure.
about sex.
Yes, it's all like sex and vaginas.
It's true.
So I think that's the easiest thing for us to talk about when you get started. And then some women like pigeonhole themselves into that.
Lane that you give them.
Especially when you're learning how to write jokes, it's easier to talk about topics that are just easy to joke about.
Yeah.
So I went the sexual route because we'd always just like make jokes off the bat. And so that's what I was used to. Now I'm at a point where I don't want to talk about sex at all. So I wrote a whole like 6 minutes that is just about my family and other things. And now I'm trying to take that where I'm like, okay, I want to teach people something with what I'm saying because you have a platform and you can talk about important shit, but still be funny. But it's taken me 4 years to be able to learn how to find my voice, the joke, so I can transition into cleaner comedy or things like that.
Good.
You know, I'm trying to get to.
But it does take time. So
Is that why you're cutting shit off?
Is that what?
Is that why you're cutting them off?
The titties?
Like, I'm trying to be cleaner, less sexual comedy. If I reduce my tit size, then I'm going to be less sexual.
And maybe male comedians will take me seriously.
Lies.
I know. I wear giant t-shirts on stage. Like I try to bro it out as much as I can so that people don't look at me as
which
a girl.
Which isn't necessarily a bad idea.
No, it works. My comedy has been doing way better.
Yeah.
And I'm just comfortable. And I'm like, this is great.
Excellent. Good.
I do best when I feel comfortable. Yeah. So whatever I feel comfortable in that day, whether it's a little bit more titties out or titties in, is what I need to be wearing.
Good.
You know?
Yeah. So you went through a celibacy phase, right?
Yes.
How long did you make it?
1 month.
Nice.
Pretty good.
That's good for you.
Wow.
I'm being very deliberate. I'm not trying to fuck. I went on dates.
Okay.
And I was very not escalating, ignoring all the shit that I know what to do, deliberately not doing them.
Okay.
Just trying to get to know.
Was this like a social experiment?
Very much so, yes.
What did you come out of it with a new mindset on?
Not really much.
He's like, damn, wish I got my dick sucked more.
No, to be fair, I did it for the purpose of trying, because I'm trying to find mother material, a woman I can have kids with.
Yep.
That was the purpose of the whole thing, purpose of the experiment. So I definitely interacted with women during that time somewhat differently. Definitely less sexual than I normally would.
Mm-hmm.
But after a month, I'm like, maybe I should just go back to what I was doing before and just withhold the sex from them.
So you're going to withhold sex as a man?
Yes, all the time.
How long are you going to make
I
them
think
wait?
that's so hot if a guy won't fuck me.
It is hot.
Because I'm like, all right, so you're not willy-nilly with your willy.
Willie. Okay, you're validating my whole point right now.
I'm like, well, he's not going to fuck me. Why isn't he going to fuck me? Why doesn't he want to fuck me? No, I want to fuck him.
All the guys, if I want to fuck them, are the guys who are not actively trying to fuck me. Because that's what's hot. I'm like, oh, we're just talking, we're having banter, and you're not. Sex isn't on the forefront of your mind. That's attractive.
Guys,
You're not controlled by your dick.
women are this simple. That last sentence you just said, that's all you need to, forget all these pickup guys, forget every little bit of dating advice I've ever told you, any person's ever told you. Just rewind that last 5-second rant she went on. Yeah, if he doesn't want to fuck me, I want to fuck him. Simple. Basic.
And those are the
Super
ones,
simple.
it makes me feel safe. And then it makes me want to come onto them.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
wait, that's so true.
if I'm gonna
Wait,
if a guy is like, well, you
Oh my god!
if a guy is like just making out with me, he's not trying anything, and then I'm gonna be like, I want to suck your dick now.
That's
you know what I'm saying? But if he's like suck my dick, I'm like, I don't want to have sex with you or do anything.
Wait, that's what just happened because he was like, "Oh no, I just want to give you a back rub," and I was like, "So, do you want to fuck me?"
And he was just being nice.
And then you offered it.
I offered, I was like, come and get it.
See?
No, but then we didn't fuck. I was like, no, I can't go over to your house. I'm a good girl. I have to go to bed.
Not that complicated, guys.
Okay, do you think women are easier than men think they are? Not easy as in sexually. I mean, easy as in understanding.
Yes. They're way easier to understand than men, the average man thinks they are. Because the average man thinks of women the same way he thinks of men. He thinks they operate the same way, which is totally wrong. Like, if a guy was autistic, like super autistic.
We love them.
Okay. Here is the legit advice I would give an actual autist.
An autist.
An actual autist. Why are you swinging off?
We just love you. Like, you're
No, I love you because I've been saying that for the past 3 months. I keep going, oh, he's an autist. And then I'd be like, wait, it sounds like I'm saying autist, but I'm fancy. And then you just said it. It was funny.
I enunciate. I have vocabulary.
All right, tell me as an autistic person, if I were a man, what advice would you give me, sir?
I would say, if you are a true autist, stop laughing when I say an autist.
I like how he's looking at us. He's like, so if you were a true autist.
I'm looking at you, Emily.
This is my diagnosis.
I'm referring to when I say this. If you're a man and you're 100% autist, the best advice I could possibly give you is take everything you know about how to interact with a human being in a respectful way and flip that shit upside down. And then women will pay attention to you.
What?
I'm not wrong.
Can you dumb that down for me?
So, if I'm a man and I'm interacting with if I'm an autistic man and I think that, okay, here's how I behave respectfully towards people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I just start behaving a little bit disrespectfully,
That's how you
women are generally gonna react to me more positively. You've both confirmed this multiple times.
It's so true.
Across this podcast.
It's so true.
Oh, I want a guy who's a balance between an asshole and a gentleman. So if I'm an autistic guy and I think I need to be super gentlemanly, flip that fucking shit on its head. Throw a little bit of asshole in there, and miraculously women now start paying attention to you.
But there are caveats. Like, you can't be the full asshole.
But
I think people think asshole as someone who is like actually like rude. When I'm thinking asshole, it's somebody who just like won't say yes to me all the time. And they're like, no, I'm not doing this because this is what I want to do.
Mhm.
That's kind of like an asshole, but they just like won't budge on certain things.
Men and women's definition of asshole in that context are very different. What you just said is, if a guy said, oh, this guy's an asshole, very different from what you just described.
I think it's because we're from Boston. I can understand why you would consider that an asshole. When I think of asshole, I'm like, oh, he's a piece of shit. Like, he's yelling at service workers. He's not holding the door open. He's being completely ungentlemanly.
I mean, I would also call that an asshole, but...
Let's look up the definition of an asshole. Why don't we?
It's going to be like your butthole.
I think that's what I was going to say.
Asshole. 1, a person's anus. 2, a stupid, irritating, or contemptible person.
Contemptible. I need to add that into my vocabulary.
Yeah, what? I'm like, what's that mean?
What does contemptible mean?
Well, everything
contempt?
everything you just said, yeah, hold them in contempt. Everything you don't like, you don't respect them, you don't like them. But it's when have I ever been called an asshole? Okay, I can remember one time when I was called an asshole, and it's a long time ago. This was in my mid-20s. The LA Lakers had won the finals of the NBA. I'm not joking. And I was in a bar with my girlfriend. My girlfriend at the time, she was from Colorado. We're in a bar, and the Lakers won, and I ran around the bar like a dickhead. And I knocked some guy's drink over. And he was like, "You're an asshole, man." Correct.
You see, but that
was an asshole.
Attracted to you.
Yeah.
I feel like he just ran around the bar. He's high energy. Like, he's comfortable. That's hot.
That's my point. That's my entire point. Men and women, totally different definitions of the word arsehole.
Yeah.
The dude sees that guy's a fucking arsehole. He just knocked my drink over. He's being belligerent. He's being fucking annoying. Women are like, oh, he's high energy. He's really loud.
He's got a
fucking
personality.
hot.
Yeah.
Yes. totally different representation of the same.
If you had a
same
personality,
behavior.
I guess.
Yes, it's this is why men and women have so much trouble communicating. It's because we both interpret things totally fucking differently. And this is my point. Like, women will never understand the way that men actually interpret the world. It's damn near impossible for me to explain to you and get you to understand how I interpret the world as a man. However, I can get men to understand women. That you can do. So I think the burden has to lie on men to a degree to like realize, no, dude, like when you do this, when you say this, here's how she will interpret it.
Here's how it's coming across to her as a woman.
Yeah. If you're the loud, tell me if I'm wrong. If you're the loudest guy in the bar, you're probably paying attention to him. You're at least noticing him.
Yeah. How could you not?
At least noticing him.
Mm-hmm.
It goes to an extent.
Yeah, but if he's not being a total dickhead.
It may not be positive
I like
notice.
Stoic, but also
okay. Here's a better example. Let's say him and his friends are the loudest guys in the bar, and they're having a great time. They're laughing, they're smiling, but they're so fucking loud that everyone is paying attention to them.
Oh, I'd be going over there and partying with them.
Right.
yeah. I'd be like, who can chug this beer faster?
But it's at least attractive in some way.
Yeah.
Rather than the guy who's in the corner, like
Being all
fly on the
awkward.
wall, super awkward, super nervous. He's like, oh,
Women.
oh, women. Oh,
I
that's
feel
so
like so
scary.
many men want women to chase them now. Like they're standing there like scared.
Well, it's
Yeah,
it's not,
when will mommy come?
Yes, and I got the fucking ick from that. I got the ick from that.
let's talk.
'Cause I
let's
want
talk
a
about the-
man to be a man.
What does that mean though?
I don't know, but he doesn't rat. When I know. Yeah, I got the ick from my guy.
That's the hardest part. Is men listen to women too much? Because you don't even know what you want. You just said it. You're like, yeah, he gave me the ick. What does that mean? I don't know, but I know what I know. Doesn't help a guy at all. Completely fucking useless advice. Totally
Are you
irrelevant.
an asshole right now?
Yes, because I'm telling the truth. Because apparently being an asshole is actually speaking the truth every now and then.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that was hot. He's an asshole.
See?
Women are easy. Just be an asshole.
Just grow a pair of fucking balls and
Balls
speak
are
your
so
mind.
hot.
Every now and then.
Balls.
I love balls.
It's not.
Smack him in my face.
See? Good lord.
Yeah, we want a man who shows his balls, metaphorically speaking.
Yeah.
Emphasis on metaphor.
I'm not a fan of balls. We have this.
I like
debate.
balls.
I don't.
We
I'm
don't-
like, I'll put them in my mouth, but like,
Then how is that you don't, then how do you not like
not like turned on by balls.
Interesting dichotomy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Right,
so different.
Let's dive down this rabbit hole a bit more. So, because this is funny as fuck. So you find testicles attractive.
No, I don't find them attractive. I like what they do to me.
She's like, fill me up.
Like yeah. I like being filled, but also if you're like,
You're a cream pie girl.
oh yeah, Boston. I'm a Boston cream pie girl.
That thing's
Is that a
full.
different kind of cream pie?
It's like a donut.
Oh,
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
fat puss.
okay. Didn't know that.
No, but I like when you're hitting it from like behind, and I can feel your balls tap my clit.
So
I
you need
like
long.
that.
You need long balls.
I'm not a fan of
I
long
guess
balls.
No, you do, because like to do that, the swing,
They're long.
to hang a bit.
When he was aroused, they were longer, and then when he was like not,
Yeah,
they were tight.
longer, they will drop. But,
Yeah.
but it depends upon the balls.
Well, he had long balls, I guess.
So long balls.
Yeah, no,
Okay, Amy,
no,
your take on balls.
no, because I'm having PTSD from a
balls?
boyfriend I had who
You have PTSD from balls.
yeah, I'm just like, I remember they would hit me, and every time we were fucking like from behind, like I just kept hitting, and the sound of it, and then that sound doesn't match up with the rhythm of the fucking. It comes like a little later.
Because it like suction cups to your clit, so it
Yeah.
goes like thwack,
And you
and then
like
it's like peels off of you.
And she likes that feeling. She's like, ooh, give me those balls. And I'm like, can we just tie them up? Or like, can we like tape them up or something? They're like, we need like a sack for your ball that just like keeps
A
them
ball
in.
holder.
I don't want that.
Instead of an over the shoulder boulder holder, it's an under the
Cup.
Cup.
But you know, if I love a man, I'll
Older.
take the balls. All right. If I love you, I'll
That's
be cool
compromise.
with it. Yeah. And I did. But now looking back, I'm like, I don't need that again. And Emily's like, I would have did anything to stay with him.
No, and I did. And I
And then
did.
she's a big anal girl. Not for me. I had one person I dated that I did anal with.
What's
and
this?
I
What's
was
this?
like,
Emily. This is Emily's
You keep doing it.
segue. But this is
she's like, I take it in the ass.
this is Emily's response to like anything. She's like, don't know what that even means. Is that yes? Is that no? Is it like I don't know?
It's hell yeah, bro.
She's like, what?
It's literally hell. I'm
She's
like,
like,
yeah.
anal. Okay.
I'm just
What does
asserting
that
my
mean?
dominance. Okay, you see these guns? Boom.
I don't see any guns, but okay. Where are the guns? Where?
that was magical. That was a scene. End scene.
Back to the balls.
Yes. Get back to the testicles. Go on.
That's all I.
Defend the testicles.
So
They're cool.
do you like how balls look?
No. Does anybody?
Do you like hair on the balls?
I don't like hair on the balls, but I also
I don't mind pubes, but I'd rather you shave your balls. I
Wait,
love
you got
trimmed pubes, like how your beard is. That
you,
for pubes.
You want a 4 o'clock shadow on the balls.
No. I want balls to be like a baby. Like, I want them
clean shave.
smooth,
Clean
clean
shave.
shaven balls
Okay.
and shit. And then their pubes up here. I hate when men fully shave. I like a man to be like hairy and manly.
Do you
don't want a
require
bush.
a man to take 2 different types of
Just shave your balls
shaving
and then keep the
material?
trim.
No. Hang on. As a man
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
with balls, this requires 2 different types of mechanisms for shaving in the same area.
Do you know how many mechanisms I use to shave my pussy and
I
asshole?
don't really care.
Oh well,
We use a lot.
it's a lot. Okay.
Wait. It all has to be 0.
No, because different parts of
Just
your
fix the whole
skin.
thing.
No, because I can't get because I got a fat ass, so I can't get into the crack because it's like there's just a lot going on.
So pay someone to get in the crack of your ass.
Yeah, I've gotten in there, haven't I?
See?
No, not yet.
I haven't shaved your asshole.
No, you will next week though.
Get in there.
I'll
The
get in there for you.
wax strips. Get in there.
I got
Do you
laser.
think-
Oh, I'll wax it. That's true. I should wax it.
Yeah.
Waxing's painful and like if I got waxed in Miami, I would break out because of the sweat.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
so
So
because the
get waxed
follicles
in
are
Get
open,
waxed in the Midwest.
and then
you
stay out there.
Drier,
That's
less
just because
humidity.
every, like month though.
And you can't fuck after you get waxed.
No,
Which is
that's-
the whole point of getting
That's why
waxed.
you need to use
Ah.
your social media and get free laser like I did.
So true.
I wanted to get laser on my neck beard
Okay.
Do it.
or my neck.
It'll
Yeah, I
save
like
you
They
so
wouldn't
much
do it.
time.
They wouldn't do it.
Why?
Why?
They wouldn't do it. It's not a regular thing.
That is a regular thing. I've seen multiple men
Wow.
do that.
Send me a reference.
I have a spa.
Do me.
Perfection Med Spa in Sunny Isles.
Bingo.
Yeah.
They're mine.
Yeah, they're great.
There.
they do my
Now.
they do my
There's
butthole.
there's so much less bullshit.
That's how I feel about
Yeah.
shaving my ass crack.
I hate shaving
It's a
my ass crack.
process.
Are you comparing my neck to your ass crack?
If the shoe fits.
Yeah, that stubborn hair, you know.
You know, you gotta angle.
I think my neck's a bit thicker than your ass crack. But
That's true.
That's what you think.
You do got a thick neck.
My ass cracks like this.
look, I like them thick, but you know.
I like a
No.
thick ass crack. You prefer like shaved pussies, or do you like hair?
No, shaved.
What if they got
I
like
mean, to
a
be fair, like
a landing strip?
Like I think in my entire life, I've maybe been with like 2. I'm not even joking. Like maybe 2 women who didn't manicure in some way downstairs.
And they had a bush.
Either there was like one girl who had a full blown bush, and one who was like a halfway between.
You were
That's- and that-
like, cocky
like-
mate, I want to get into the underground.
No, that was not my reaction.
But
Sorry.
you still did it.
I mean, yeah, I'm a red blooded male, so I'm still gonna do it. But
Did you eat her pussy though?
I think I did. Yeah, It's a
That's
while
a
ago.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't really care. Man.
I don't shave for men. I shave for myself.
You know, here's a weird topic. Okay, we're segueing a bit. We want topics. Okay, so we're segueing a bit. A lot of dudes. Actually, this is actually a great topic to ask you guys because you're women. Topic is: if a guy eats your pussy, is he beta?
No.
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 Do you disrespect him, or do
No.
you think of him less if he eats pussy?
No. I think of him less if he doesn't. I've literally stopped talking to guys because their like thing is not eating pussy. And the men that I worshipped my pussy. And I was like, I will do whatever you ask me to. Like-
I'm here to tell you right now. There's an entire
Debate.
legion
Who think
of
eating pussy is
men
gay?
online, particularly on Twitter for some reason, that think that eating pussy is beta or submissive or whatever.
This is the attack on masculinity, okay? And I won't stand for it. I won't fucking stand for it. A
Right,
real
but-
eats pussy.
Amen.
Okay, look. Here's the argument I give. So they'll make the argument that eating pussy is beta because dicks have been there. Newsflash,
Dicks have been in
motherfucker.
my mouth too, but you still
Newsflash,
want your dick
motherfucker.
sucked.
Every woman you've been with has sucked a dick and you're kissing her. There's been a dick in her mouth.
Yes, there has.
And there's been your dick in my mouth, so why does it matter?
That's
you-
basically
so
you
you're-
eating dicks
So
without
you're
your guy.
kissing your own dick
Nice.
and you're kissing other dicks.
And you're kissing cum
But wait,
because there's
you
been
won't-
cum in there.
You won't eat the pussy, but you'll put your dick in the pussy. That makes no sense.
That does make sense.
If you think about it, having sex is just docking another man's dick.
But-
If you really think about it,
That's a bit of a stretch, but
you're just docking, bro.
Tell me, explain that. How?
If another man's dick and foreskin has been inside her vagina, there are remnants of his foreskin in her vagina.
Remnants of his foreskin?
Skin
Is your pussy full of razor blades, bitch? How are the remnants of his foreskin in your pussy?
Listen, I'm not a doctor.
What's going on here?
Okay, then you put your dick inside there.
Oh, God.
Technically, you have been enveloped by another man's penis.
Well, there's always pre-cum too.
Yeah. And you got his cum on your dick.
Mostly in your mouth.
Why?
Because, like, if
You're
you think
sucking dick first, yeah.
how does foreplay start? Usually,
Sucking dick.
women suck a guy's dick first, and then it moves. I'll defend big tits fucking till the day I die. I don't care.
Yeah,
However,
you're trying to get yours removed,
actually-
and I'm trying to get mine.
Here's a controversy. Okay, this is the ultimate debate.
Okay.
Ultimate debate. Tits and no ass, or ass and no tits.
Ass and no tits.
Ass and no tits.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Hands down.
I'm a tit guy, and even I say that.
There's got to be an ass. I
Yeah.
had a friend
Tits and
describe
no ass. It's just like so disappointing.
Wendy Williams.
Even I like ate a girl out once, and she was really skinny. Like the girl I ate out, and she was so skinny, and she felt like a skeleton while I was down there, and I didn't like it. I was like, this is weird.
Wait, was she facing her butt towards you or pussy towards you?
Pussy towards me, but it's even like the thighs. Like I grab on the legs and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, me.
Girls
I want to
squat.
feel the like
Squat.
Oh,
recoil
yeah.
when I move your ass.
What's
the
the
gayest
gayest sport?
Okay,
Oh.
well, what's the straightest? sport?
WNBA is the gay sport.
But what's the straightest sport?
For a woman or a man?
Both.
Straightest sport.
For a woman,
You just look
looking
at
competitions.
I think it has to be netball.
netball.
Yeah, you don't have that in America.
No, we don't.
No, what is that?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a sport that only women play in the Commonwealth.
Okay.
So Canada, Australia, England, New Zealand, it's a women's only sport. That's why it's not gay.
Okay. What about for us Americans?
I think you're in luck. Give me one sport that women play, men don't.
Tennis.
No, man.
Oh, tennis would be pretty straight, I think.
I feel like that's relatively
I feel like that's
straight.
pretty straight. Because if you're playing tennis or something like golf, you're usually in a circle, I think, of more affluent people.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
true.
I think that it's less likely to be as, you know what I'm saying? Like it's more, I feel like
I see that.
if the people who grew up playing tennis, their family was conservative. They were
Mhm.
definitely like upper middle class. Like, oh, I'm going to get married and they have good, you know what I'm saying? Like people who are, I don't know.
So
No, I see
if
that.
you have a tennis club, you're gonna find a wife.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they were, I think that those people, you've been around country clubs, you've been around like, you've been taught how to act from a young age.
So,
Like presentation.
so everyone should join a golf club
Mhm.
Yep.
or a tennis club.
Yeah, if I want to find a husband, I would absolutely start working at a golf club.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Oh my God.
I've actually considered it.
Yeah, me too.
You know he's not broke.
Yeah, you know they're not broke.
Ain't broke.
You just go around and you make their day better and you get them drinks and shit.
You're
and then they
feminine.
tip you very well.
Mhm.
Okay, why am I busting my ass at a restaurant, the local dive bar, when I could be at a country club getting paid good tips
Amen.
and potentially able to find a husband?
Because you know we're not going to find him in the streets.
No,
We're not.
we've tried. We've
Of
been there,
streets
guys.
of
They're
Miami?
not
Why not?
there.
Because they don't get their dicks tested.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Miami is the STD capital of the freaking planet
It-
right now.
No way.
Okay.
I think
Is it really though?
one of them.
I think
It's the-
Texas is doing pretty bad too. Those damn
Everything-
conservatives.
Everything's bigger in Texas, even the STDs.
They're evolving quicker.
That's where super chlamydia came from, Texas.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, how do we make
No, that's when the
chlamydia
syphilis
better?
outbreak started happening.
Somebody fucked a llama again. God damn it, Christopher Columbus.
I'm doubting everything you're saying right now.
I read it somewhere on TikTok.
I heard the words Christopher Columbus and llama in the same sentence. Try to find me a sentence that
He
says
fucked a
that.
llama.
Like, what?
That's how he got syphilis.
I,
No, that he did fuck an
What?
animal, and that's how he got syphilis, and he spread it throughout like all of.
wait. How did he get syphilis?
He fucked an animal.
out, okay?
He fucked a llama.
Listen, just wait a second.
Propaganda.
He
They
introduced.
introduced the old, wait,
He introduced syphilis to Europe.
good for him.
That
That's a real colonizer right there.
Pioneer.
was like the karma of the colonizers. Like you go colonize another place, like you come back, you just infect everyone.
Columbus set sail. It apparently, what? There have been reports of 50 skeletons from Europe dating back from before Columbus set sail that apparently showed the lesions of chronic syphilis. So they're
Columbus.
debunking this.
Before Columbus.
Before Columbus. So they're saying there seems to be evidence that syphilis originated in the old world and that Columbus was not to blame.
Correct.
So he didn't fuck a llama.
Damn
I don't know.
No,
We're gonna research that later, and then
I've actually been to Columbus's tomb
Why?
in Seville in Spain.
Why would you do that?
Because, gee.
Colonizer.
I'll show. I have a photo on my phone. His tomb's pretty badass. It's like it's statues of four statues holding up a coffin with like a big drape around it, all in stone. It's super badass.
That's sick.
Badass. And here's the funniest part. Apparently, Columbus wanted to be buried in the Dominican Republic because I think that was the first place he went
Mm-hmm.
in the New World. Columbus landed there and he's like, I want to be buried here. The Spanish were like, fuck no.
they took his body.
We paid you to do all this. You're coming home. And they took his body and put it in Seville in Spain. And it's
Is
been
that illegal now?
DNA tested to his grandkids, like his great grandkids. It's actually him in Seville in Spain. So they said, fuck you and your wishes. You're coming back to Spain because like he's a Spanish idol. Like Columbus,
Well,
all of
actually,
South America, all speak Spanish for a reason.
the king and queen of Spain actually like renounced him after he got back from the New World because of how he treated the people in the New World. So they took him off of all of his missions and said that he was crazy because he was like abusing people, and they
Cutting people's hands and like
Yeah.
ears off and hanging them around his fucking necklaces.
Rough.
and they were
He
like,
was
this
really,
is not
like-
what we want to be broadcasting to the world as to our royal mission.
For some reason,
Genocide.
for some reason, they paid to bring him back to Spain.
Isn't that crazy that you don't have rights over your own body when you're dead? Like some
Crazy, right?
people can just do that to you. Like that's what I mean. Not to get political and everything, but that's what's happening with people in Palestine is their bodies are being found and their organ bases.
I feel like we all
in
deserve
Israel.
after death some chance of burial. Like that's just throughout history. Like,
Respectful.
yeah, we need to be respected after death.
I feel like we're just meat suits. I want to be cremated, spread somewhere. Like my soul is what is me. I feel like that's what keeps you attached to Earth.
I want to be turned into a tree, actually.
Me too.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful.
I want to be buried at the roots of a tree, like a big fucking oak tree, that my grandkids will dance around.
I love that.
That sounds like a cult.
No,
Sounds like a family.
No, that sounds like family. We've been so
Fast and
like
Furious. It's all about
desensitized to,
family.
like, nice
This is what we're
family
doing.
things.
No,
Yes.
they make pods that you can put your body inside that become a specific tree, and you can choose which tree you want to be.
But I want to plant the tree first.
Oh,
I want to plant the tree
So
and
your
then
full
be-
cycle
and
and
then be buried under it to nutrition it.
okay.
So that every time it like seeds or flowers, my grandkids can be like, that's granddad.
And it's like the body of Christ.
that's so sweet.
the apple of
It's-
my
it's-
grandfather.
It's like this. It's literally the circle of life. It's literally how the world works.
Hmm.
I think it's a perfect analogy.
No, that's beautiful.
Rather than because, like, you know, I have my grandparents in graveyards and stuff. It's so detached.
It
It
is.
feels so cold. I feel
Yeah,
like what's
like-
happening in society is making everything so cold.
But
I want those warm feelings, like the
Mhm.
fam, like you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
You know what I love? Dia de los Muertos, how they all have ofrendas, which are altars to honor the dead. And I think that's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And we don't do that in like Western society
No,
where we,
That's
My
my
oak-
banana
my
is
oak
my
tree.
phone screen.
My oak tree is going to be honoring my death.
yeah.
Same thing.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. It is beautiful. Yes, correct.
Yeah, no, I think honoring the dead is super important. I wanted to call my Nana the other day. And I was like out at CVS. I was like, I should call my Nana. I go to call her. And I realized she was dead. So I texted my niece and I was like, sometimes I want to call Nana. And she was like, me too. And she said that she's sad that we've never visited the grave. And I'm upset about that too. But it's I don't know, it's fucked up the way we are so scared of death as a society and grieving, and we're to the point we don't actually allow ourselves to fully grieve and process the person because we're so focused on moving on. Whereas instead of viewing it as an end to something, if we view it as like a natural life cycle and continue the joy through their memories and through you as a continuation of them, it would be so much more beautiful to experience death because you got to experience the person first.
Yep. Bingo.
Everyone just wants like to shut their feelings off and not feel it.
Hence the oak tree. My plan
It's to bring joy.
Yeah.
Proving his point.
Yeah, we are.
You're just backing me up. Everything you've said is backing my point up. Create an oak tree, put a swing on it, have your grandkids swing on the branch. The branch that is literally born from me.
Like summer, like dinners on a picnic table, and there's a nice tree.
Correct.
And his memories, like
They're like,
It's all about granddad.
Granddad Sterling's with us right now.
oh, sweet.
Yes. I see no problem with this plan.
I see none either.
My dad wants his head frozen, and then before they freeze his head and burn the rest of him, he wants a limo ride around the Massachusetts State Senate House, and that he wants his rigor mortis to be a middle finger so he can go around saying his last fuck yous to the Massachusetts Senate.
That's pretty G. I do actually like that.
I was like, I'm not doing that shit.
I'm like, use my dead body to play a prank on someone, like something
Weekend
like
at
that.
Bernie style.
and then just cremate me.
That's oddly specific.
I would do it
That
for
is
you.
oddly specific.
I would do it for you. If she dies, I'll pull a prank on someone.
Yeah,
Fair.
I'd be laughing in my grave. Honestly, maybe it's so funny that I just holy shit.
I needed that.
Stars are right up again.
Oh God. Well, sorry to make that serious, guys. I know we want to have like a funny episode. I'm like, so death is important to us as a social construct.
You know, we've only been talking. Oh, I thought this whole time I was like, we've only been talking for 2 minutes and 29 seconds, but that's not moving. It's from like the 2 hours. So I kept looking at the clock being like, no time is going by.
How many bongs have you ripped?
Like 3 or 4.
Sorry.
I'm feeling good, okay?
No judgment here.
I just
Sure.
get giggly and I'm all like, hee hee. You know? All right, so back to sucking dick.
The good things in life.
No.
Okay. How would you teach a man the top 3 things to please a woman when it comes to eating her out?
Ooh. That's actually super easy.
Can you teach my exes?
Why are you acting surprised?
Well, I've never eaten a woman out, and I'm kind of asking for myself. I mean, a friend.
A friend. This mysterious friend that you have who you've never met, never heard of, ever. Okay. To your friend,
Yes.
what I would tell her. First thing, tell her she's only allowed to say 4 words. Harder, softer, faster, slower. That's it. Because the problem that people have when they, like, if a dude's going down on a girl, right? He doesn't want to bruise his own ego, and she doesn't want to bruise his ego. He would say something like, do you enjoy that? Right.
You don't want to know.
The eye roll told me everything. If he's doing a shit job,
You should know.
but you're not going to tell him. You're not going to say, that feels fucking trash. Stop eating my pussy. Get your fucking mouth
No.
away from my vagina.
I
You're
would
not going
never
to say
say
that.
that.
You're not going to say that, right? So it's better to give, like, specific direction.
Mm-hmm.
So if he prompts you first, also it's kind of hot that if he's like telling you can only say these 4 words.
That's hot.
It's hot. It's controlling. It's like, that's how he works. He's fucking.
Or anybody else's
But
nipples.
it's also like how people say, because some guys will be like, okay, well, like, you only say these 4 words. I'm like, oh God, this is
Harder.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you have to give like a pussy
No, that's
example to everything I
Like if somebody was like kissing down you and then it's like, all right, I want you to say 4 words to me. And then as they're doing that, it's showing confidence. So I just want to let everyone know who's listening, delivery is important.
confidence?
Practice your delivery
So that-
in the mirror.
That's a very good point. It's about delivering it confidently.
Yes.
But one of the things I noticed with the guys who study what I teach is that just having like knowing what to do will give them the confidence in the first place. Whereas before they had no fucking clue. Right? So they're kind of ambling around in the dark. They got no clue. They're like, oh, if I say this, I'm good. Then they say it with more confidence. So it does help, guys, generally. But harder, softer, faster, slower, right? So that's 4 very clear directions, like on a compass, of what he should do to your clit while he's down there. Should he go faster? Should he go slower? More pressure, like harder, or softer, ease up a bit. And he gives you the tools to help him navigate your orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like
now,
that.
rather than saying like that's good or that's not good, that's completely fucking useless. I like that. I don't like that.
It's giving them direction on what to do.
It's much more specific direction. So now we can amplify the speed, lower it down, put more pressure, relax the pressure, and he'll find that sweet spot. When he finds the sweet spot, all you have to say is, don't
That's it.
stop.
Right there.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Or any variation of that.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing is basically what we're trying to communicate to him. So he's like, okay, cool. This is the speed, the pressure, the pace, whatever. Let's just keep doing this. And we're happy. Happy days.
If
Yeah.
she's moving her hips up into your face, you know you're doing a good job.
Correct.
True.
Correct.
I also do think that the man does set the tone for like the sexual experience. And so that confidence is super important because not a lot of women feel comfortable or like with talking dirty or like even speaking up. And so if a man is leading that and like provides the space to make her comfortable because they're not like weird about it,
Yep.
then they'll actually be able to start communicating. And that's how you have way better sex.
Oh yeah.
Because I've definitely been with men who like do not make me feel comfortable
No.
opening up. You know what I'm saying? Or it's just like a little more awkward.
It's interesting because I like when the man talks about sex before we have sex.
Huh.
But also if a guy was just like trying to be like, hey, can I fuck you? I'd be like, get the fuck away from me
Interesting.
No, it's different when there's like,
when you're into them.
So they talk about sex in a way that's like it's an externality. We're not talking about sex with us. We're talking about sex like in general.
Broadly. Like what you
Broadly,
enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
So it's because that implies that it doesn't make you feel like it's applying to you.
Mhm.
When they make it about me, then I feel like pressure. And then I don't want to be,
Yeah.
when I feel pressure, then it makes me like back away because I'm like,
Also,
I want to be able to come to like the man, you know?
it puts sexual pressure on you too.
Yeah.
When they talk about it in a very specific context, like it's about you,
Yeah.
it also kind of implies a bit of neediness on the guy's part. Like he's so desperate to talk about sex. He
Yeah.
wants you talking about sex. It puts a lot of like emphasis on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Becomes needy.
That's
This
true.
goes back to the first episode, like part 1 of this, that when guys don't try to fuck us, we want to fuck them.
Mhm.
So the less you're talking about it, or you like throw in some like flirtiness, the more like into it we are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's
At the moment they start doing it, like girls feel pressured, and unless like they're down at the moment,
we
and
can
they're
sense like
super
the
horny.
desperation.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you don't want someone to be desperate.
And for some
in
reason,
that
it
way.
downplays the other areas that you are doing well as a man. Like, let's say you're asking on dates and like opening doors and stuff. Or I guess we wouldn't even be at that point yet if you were getting, like, we're talking about guys who get sexual right off the bat, right?
Not right off the bat, like while we're getting to know each other, and maybe we haven't had sex yet because I'm not fucking people right off the bat, you know? So,
Yeah. Or like they don't live here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you can only really communicate via Instagram
Or
via
text. You're like, just Instagram. I'm like, no, I need
I thought
FaceTime.
of online, like, because it's not here. And then I thought of
Yeah.
Instagram.
Okay, so
Feels oddly specific, but
no, not at all.
go on.
All right, so number 1, you tell them 4
I
words.
can't help myself. Sorry.
I was trying not to be like, I was like, I
You
hope.
two kept pushing it so much.
Are you saying that? No, we're good.
All right, tell us the 2 and the 3 so we can make that a clip.
What was the
For pleasing a woman with oral, you said number 1, 4 words. What's 2 and 3?
Right. The most sensitive part on the clitoris, generally across the board, is about 1 o'clock. Like looking down the barrel, as from the guy's perspective. Like like you're laying on your back. I'm looking you in the eyes.
Picturing a pussy.
Yeah. 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, slightly to the right.
Okay.
Yeah, it is the side part.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Underneath. Right underneath the clit.
No, but sometimes they focus on just the clit.
No.
And they're not like moving enough to get like around it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the more stimulating part because it's almost too much when you go right on the clit. But if you're around it, like you're building the orgasm, which makes it so much better.
Bingo. You don't want to focus 100% on like the very peak of the clitoral hood. Ideally, you want to build up the blood flow, build up the tension, build up all the sensation outside, like the labia, all this stuff going around outside, and slowly bring your attention more focused into that area. And then typically, like 1 o'clock on the clit is typically, across most women, the most sensitive part. It's obviously there's exception to the rule, but very typically 1 o'clock's the go-to spot. Hello, kitty. Hello. But you can find, like, once you get to that point, you'll very easily be able to find the necessary feedback to adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
Also, a big giant giveaway that any guy can use is just tell his woman to jerk off, jill off in front of him, like masturbate in front of me.
That's so
hot.
It's hot as fuck.
I think what's super underrated is 2 people masturbating in front of each other.
And the guy gets to watch what she's doing.
That's so true.
Oh, is she going clockwise, anti-clockwise, up and down, left and right? What's she doing? Where is she putting her finger?
If I can't come acoustically, I have to.
What does acoustically mean?
Like just hands.
Acoustically? Like I know she's yelling at you. Orgasm.
You're worthless. Actually, that would make me come.
So maybe you can come on acoustically.
Oh, okay. Use me, daddy.
Sorry you had to hear that, baby.
What's that?
She was like, Mom, stop being a slut.
Yeah, no, I can't come acoustically, so you just have to watch me play with my toy.
That's manually, not acoustically. Stop.
It's an acoustic guitar.
No.
Acoustic refers to the resonance of the sound. No, it's wrong. You're using the word wrong. Using the word.
Sterling, let me tell my joke in peace, okay?
She's like, that hits every time on stage. I'm
Sorry.
it.
Sorry.
That's a good one. I call myself
if it hits.
Typical man, just like using logic about something. Actually, here's how it's wrong.
I know.
But
Good shit.
still,
You still watch.
He should watch what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
If that's how she gets off, if she moves her hands in a certain direction, just copy it. It's not rocket science. So just watch what she's doing. And that's also actually why women who masturbate more frequently tend to be easier to get off as a partner.
I had to practice. I couldn't have an orgasm until I was 21. And I remember trying every different like sex toy, vibrators. I was so embarrassed about all of it and like finding out my body, but I was like, I'm determined to come.
Question, how did you know that you hadn't come?
So I was like, okay, maybe I think I've been coming.
Yeah.
And then the reason I'm so open about talking about sex was because I didn't know how to come. So I started talking to people about it and asking questions from my friends who had come or like whatever. And so I just got so open about it. And when I was hearing about other people's experiences having orgasms, I was like, wait, I thought I was coming, but that doesn't sound like that.
Yeah.
And then I remember talking to one of my guy friends, and he was like a whore. And he had been around the block, and I was like, you'll know this. And I was like, every time I masturbate, I feel like I have to pee. And I was like, it stops there, and I can't. And he was like, well, that means it's like a mental thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to, and I was like, oh, I've been tackling this the wrong way. I'm like, maybe left or right, maybe up or down. And it was like, no, you need to be degraded. No. So I was watching the show Billions. I was not masturbating at the same time. I was like by myself. Like it was the first episode. I heard it was good.
Yeah, she hadn't started the habit yet.
It was great.
Like the first episode, the like district attorney, some like weird dude, but he's like the district attorney, so big, powerful position. It like starts with a scene with his wife, like his hot wife on the phone. And she's like, you're going to like walk on all fours. He like walks into a sex club and she starts like telling him what to do over the phone, like in front of people and shit. And he's like doing it and she's like puts a cigarette on him. And I started watching it and I got this overwhelming feeling where I was like, I need to come right now. Like I need to go. I was like, I don't know what this is. I'm like really turned on. Went to my room, used my vibrator, like 30 seconds. I came for the first time and I was like, oh my God. I was so embarrassed. And I remember calling up that friend and being like, this is what happened. And he was like, oh yeah, welcome to BDSM. He's like, do some research on these things. He's like, it sounds like you like the power thing and like you're totally normal. And I was like, okay. But then, yeah.
I love BDSM.
Some people don't realize like it's mental.
Yeah. The female orgasm is mostly mental.
Yeah.
I took the TV show.
Fair enough.
It was Animal Planet
Which
for me.
I feel so bad for like my two boyfriends or like my boyfriend before then.
But the point is,
Because they
like,
couldn't make you come?
Yeah. They didn't know either.
him doing like what he should do as a man, like being kind of overpowering, being dominant, being masculine, right? It should by default put you in that correct like mental state
Yes.
such that you would orgasm.
So that's what happened to me. I had never come, and then I started dating a guy, and he was so dominant, and he was so confident about himself and the sex, and he just the way he spoke, he was like, I'm gonna make you squirt, and I was like, you're gonna make me squirt. And then he did. I'd never even come in my life, and he made me squirt all over to the floor, to the point where there were puddles the first time we fucked. And he was like, that's the best sex I've ever had. And I was like, me too, dude. That was fucking mind-blowing. So I didn't have any of that experience. He just taught me, and he led me to an orgasm, and I was like, I'm here. I'm with you, buddy.
Yeah. And that is not that difficult.
Well, it's kind of hard when you lose your virginity to somebody.
That's hard.
My person was we both lost our virginities to each other.
Fair enough.
And that's all we knew. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the first girlfriend I ever had, virginity, 4 years, first 4 years, my sex life, same girl. But like, as a guy, I used that opportunity to try to learn as much as I possibly could about the female body.
Yeah.
And what things, like what buttons I could push, what didn't work, what did work, right? And then I adjusted that model of like how the woman's body works as I got more sexual partners.
And back to like eating pussy is not gay. I feel like there's a lot of men, you know, like who don't take the consideration of learning women and their bodies. Like you get a lot away with a lot more if you know the women's body.
My approach to it has always been like, if you, and I'll tell this to guys, like if you don't enjoy eating pussy, then don't. If you do, then don't let other people like try to shame you into not doing it. Same, like I've said the same to a woman. Like if you actually if a woman gets off on sucking a dude's dick, you're gonna find a husband like that, no problem.
Well, where is he?
What the fuck? Dick sucker 1, dick sucker 2.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's an attractive thing for your partner to see. Like, because people like to be, generally, people like to please.
Mm-hmm.
Generally. So, like, if I'm pleasing you from you sucking my dick, well, then you feel great. I feel even greater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a massive win-win. We're all happy.
It's a huge ego boost.
But I've like talked to guys where they just like don't, like they're all about getting their dick sucked. And you can just tell it's like an energy. It's like, I just like my dick sucked and that's what's going to like make me settle down and whatever. We have like all of our friends like are open up about this stuff. And then they're like not that into like pleasing the woman, like going down on her. And I'm just like, I had been in that situation before where it was like definitely more on like, it was a one-sided thing. And I was like, oh, this is so unattractive and it makes me not want to suck your dick.
No, I would never, ever date somebody who's not a pleaser.
Same.
Because if you please me, I please you. It's, like you said, a win-win for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do find that guys who do enjoy going down on women, they get off on getting their woman off.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's a beautiful thing.
Which I think is a great thing. But but not every guy has that.
No.
Not every guy will get off on that particular aspect.
That's what I'm looking for, though.
Yeah, I like, am not even interested if you're not.
Like, I want a man who's going to tie me up, edge me for hours, set a record of how many times he can make me come, and
Amen.
keep me coming.
Amen. And in Jesus' name.
Oh, Lord.
Oddly specific.
Oh, it's happened. And I want it again.
That's why I said oddly specific.
Yeah. I know what I want.
It's definitely happened.
And to me. Not my friend.
Oh, not that friend that we were talking about before.
We don't need to talk about her anymore.
Oh.
We're not friends anymore, actually.
Ah.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for us?
What has changed since I saw you last?
Oh, so much.
Tell me.
That's a good question.
I feel like a lot has changed. I think we've gained more of like a confidence in the space, whereas before it sort of felt like kind of like imposter syndrome. Like you don't feel like you're entitled to belong there regardless of the work you put in. Now I think we're at the point where we're like, but we've put in all of this work. You can, regardless of what you think about us, we know the facts. So I personally, I feel like there's more confidence in that. You know, we started comedy again, which gave even more of a backing to our like credibility and validity in the space. And I think it feels good.
Yeah.
Good.
I feel like the end of the year, like more so the last like 3 months, all of the work that we've put in for the beginning of the year is starting to kind of, the things are starting to happen as a result. So it's really nice to see that. I feel like, oh, we were right. Because I think too, like in this space, when we felt imposter syndrome, we hadn't necessarily like, we were starting to create value and we had a vision of like making this valuable for other people to be a part of. And so now we've kind of established like some pretty good value where people are like asking us to come on the podcast. So the dynamic is starting to shift and we're seeing that. And that's very exciting because we're like, oh, next year is going to be great. The live show happened, which was awesome. And yeah, I don't know. My brother's coming back. My family's coming together. Things are good. It's all starting to come together. It's good. What about you?
I mean, you told me about the live show you did. Sounded very exciting.
Yeah.
People,
It was super cool.
people twerking,
That was crazy.
eating hot dogs for some reason.
Insane.
Yeah.
I'm glad I wasn't there. But,
You'll have to. Oh, you're glad you weren't there, asshole.
I'm glad I was not on that stage.
Oh, would you have gone crazy?
No.
No.
We had a male porn star. Obviously, you're not a porn star, but we had a male porn star. He just looks like you. He was bald. He came on stage.
Trying to stereotype me? This feels racist somehow.
He was a white man too.
Aha! Told you.
But he came on stage and he was throwing that ass back for the audience. Let me tell you.
He was. He kind of looked like, what is it, Lisa from Bob's Burgers? Is that her name?
Tina.
Tina. And she goes like this.
Yeah.
Like that's how he was twerking. And I was like, yeah, you got it. I was like, please don't tell me that's how you fuck. One guy was like trying to hump the hot dog to get in his mouth, but the way that he was standing, he was just like this. Just kind of. And I was like, oh no. Like there was no rhythm.
There was no passion.
movement.
No hips.
And I literally was yelling. I was like, is this how you fuck? I was like, do better. And he was like, this is how I fuck. And I was like, I'm sorry, bro.
You traumatized that guy for life.
Well, he learned a lesson.
Yeah, he's got to learn.
Or maybe he'll crawl into like a cavern and never come out again and never talk to a woman ever again.
Well, you know what? So be it. If you thrust like that, then maybe you shouldn't be fucking women. Maybe you should be getting fucked.
Oh my God.
It could be by a woman.
It's a very strong statement.
Sorry.
What is it like for, what is it? Because men are like misogynistic. Like, what is it when it's the female version? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how people are like, oh, that's misogynistic. I feel like we make those comments, but like the opposite.
Like misandry.
Yeah, but no one uses that word.
Yeah.
No one uses it. Doesn't exist.
It's not like real. We're just.
Doesn't exist. Yeah, it's just this ethereal thing that no one ever talks about.
Opinions aren't right.
No, it's more like women's opinions are accepted by default, as if they're valid.
Because it's like, oh, all men suck. Like that's often
That's the
stated.
default.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I have noticed like in that culture that I didn't like, that like steered me away from the I hate men like rhetoric, is the fact that it's like women are getting mad at men for doing things that they're also doing. And they're treating men the exact same way. And they're like, well, the logic in the argument is that they did it first and this is a reaction to years of that. I get that, but like still, two wrongs don't make a right. You know?
Yeah, women will have a lot more leeway in let's say being asshole-ish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And men will.
It's like, oh, she's just a bitch. And it's kind of written off, you know?
Yeah, like because there's not really much accountability there.
No, there isn't.
Like if you act like a bitch, someone's still gonna fuck you.
That's what I'm saying. Like we can still get fucked, and that's why we don't have to like adjust the behavior.
Right.
Here's the thing. Same thing, devil's advocate. Same thing could be said about men. Like, oh, he's just a fuck boy. He'll still get fucked because women like the assholes.
Yeah, but
And so he doesn't have to grow up.
But the guys who you would consider fuckboys are maybe like 5% of men.
You think so?
Super rare.
What do you think the level of asshole for women is? Like, what percent is just straight
Oh.
bitches?
You know what's hard though? I feel like the good guys though, if they do get a girl that is good and they're not used to it, or they start getting an ego like, oh, I can get this girl. And so now they're like, well, if I can get her, I can get these people. And then they become fuckboys with you. Not that I've experienced that or anything, but like
So they've leveraged you to become
I've inflated an ego that they were like, oh. And then they like, instead of being like happy that they like had it,
Yeah.
they were like, oh, well, what else can I get now?
Yeah.
If she's talking to
Yes.
me, who else is going to talk to
Can
me?
we talk about
You know,
that?
the weird thing is that like so I've heard a couple of women say exactly like that, like what you just said, like, oh, I've inflated his ego.
Mhm.
But I've never in my life met a man who was the other side of that, who's had his ego inflated by a good woman, and then he went off and like became a playboy and like he left her alone, he didn't marry her or whatever. Like I've heard that side of the argument. I have, but I've just never met the guy.
I've had it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to me, I'm where the fuck are these guys? I actually want
And
to.
this one was somebody that everyone...
I want to sit down and talk to them because I'm like, the
Before
fuck are you doing, dickhead? Like this woman was like wifey material. Why are you like ruining this woman?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I
For
get
no
like,
reason.
I can give
For
you
no
his
reason.
number.
Put him in his place. Tell him, Sterling.
sure. I mean, I might also,
Right
I
now.
might also like, I might like learn a thing off two of them. I don't know.
Should we call him?
No, that's a thing though. I really think that's a thing. Like I've not compared myself to people's exes and stuff, but I've seen them and I'm like, oh, you're doing good. And then I hear how their exes treated them, and I know how I am in a relationship, and I'm like, this is a win-win. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't
think
even
that
know.
goes to our society. I've seen this talked about a lot recently. The illusion of options, because we're in the era of social media, we're in the era of dating apps. There's this idea that there's so many options out there, so many fish in the sea, and it's like, no. If you fumble the bag, whether you're a man or woman with a good person, there's not a lot like that.
There isn't.
There
And
really
when you find a
isn't.
person that you connect with like that, it's like I would do what I could to keep that.
Like, take the risk. Don't be a pussy ass little bitch. Take the fucking risk, okay?
just propose to me already.
Marry me. Why doesn't he love me? We've never had sex or touched.
This feels a lot like therapy.
Okay,
I'm like,
back to
I feel like I'm the guy. You're on the couch. You're both on the couch,
but this
and
is
I'm the guy trying to like
going
push you
through
through this.
But
Please help us.
there's women listening. We have 50-50 audience.
Good.
So they're gonna want a lot of women and
Honest
girls
answers.
talk like this, and they're gonna want to hear from somebody who I think like respect how you date, and like you know what I mean. And so we
I
think
love
like
polygamous.
we think that your advice would be helpful for our audience.
Yeah.
We
It would.
don't need the therapy. We're really okay when we're playing in for theatrics.
We got Stirling Cooper. We don't need therapy.
Correct.
Amen.
No, we don't need him for therapy either, though. But we need him for advice.
Yeah.
To teach the women in the audience listening who need therapy.
Who can't afford it.
I'm the cheap woman's therapy.
Amen.
All right, what should we do? We like
Should we play a game?
what's rough?
Oh, I said that feels rough.
Oh.
I'm the cheap woman's therapy.
Oh no, that's
That's what I said.
It could be worse. You could be the cheap woman's boyfriend.
Ooh.
Right?
no.
Or her dildo.
We think you're amazing.
We do.
Okay.
We appreciate you.
I know.
Should we play I think the same but different would be so funny with him.
I think so
Okay.
too.
So we're gonna play a card game. This is our segment Stony Baloney. And so basically we're gonna give you two scenarios. One is like PG normal scenario.
Okay.
Okay. And then the other scenario is something dirty. And you have to make a statement that would work in both scenarios.
Ah, cool.
So
You want to have some cards too and ask us some questions?
Let's do it.
Some guests don't like to do that.
you read the blue and then the red.
I read blue first.
Yes, sir.
So I switch them. Oh, this way around. Cool. Cool.
Oh, fuck.
Why'd you put the voice on? Oh, fuck. That's my tits. I need to cut them off. Ah, too heavy. Makes my voice really deep.
Large breast N62 over here.
N62. You're N62 to me.
I have to make that merch.
Wait, no.
Diagnosis.
You need to take a picture of that,
Yeah.
and that's just the picture of the merch.
Diagnosis large breast N62. That's so funny.
That's so funny. That's what needs to be on the merch. That's
That's great.
that's a multi-million-dollar deal.
That's the
Emily.
thing.
So I got diagnosed with having large titties the other day. That's a stand-up joke. There's something there. There's
I
something
agree.
there.
I agree.
You have to bring that piece of paper
Yeah,
on stage
yes,
to
every time.
Every time.
Like, to prove it.
Mm-hmm. You have to make extra copies of that. So
I'll
we don't
take a
lose it.
picture.
Redacted.
I have 200 copies in my living room right now. Men keep asking for proof that I have large tits. I just give them my fucking documents.
All right.
The menu dating blind? What's going on?
I have a funny one.
You know, they're idiots.
All right. Here's the first one. Something you can say while in labor
Oh.
and at your ex's wedding.
It's not yours.
You're the father. I was going to say you're the father.
Your ex's wedding and whilst in labor.
I told you I didn't want your dad here.
That's a quick.
Get my mom out of this fucking room.
I know.
I shouldn't have swallowed today.
All right, it's unfair. You guys are way faster at this shit, so I'm reading the question. So I take
The gist. That was an example.
Well, I take from the blue pile, then the red pile.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works. So random one like this.
Some of them suck. Sometimes the combinations aren't great.
Let's find out. Okay. Something you can say after surgery, and something you can say at a bottomless brunch.
She has 3 extra inches in her abdomen.
Pass the mimosas.
After surgery and at
Yeah.
brunch. I need a cigarette. I wouldn't say that, but somebody else would.
I've got to go for a walk and take a shit.
What?
After surgery, you have to walk around and shit after, or they won't discharge you.
Interesting.
That's a very niche. If you know, you know.
Surgery niche.
After surgery and bottomless brunch.
Where's my man? I want to see my man.
I don't know. Some of them I blank out on.
Yeah, some of these are hard.
Let's go. Come on. Something you can say after your boss fires you and during morning sex.
I shouldn't have slept with you.
It's too early for this shit. Give me a coffee.
It's pretty good.
I need to leave.
Quit.
Dad, why are you doing this?
This is the last time I'll be here.
Yes.
And God damn it, I'm happy about that.
I'll mail you a forwarding address for my last paycheck.
Something you can say on your anniversary and when you wake up after blacking out.
What day is it?
I don't remember shit from last night.
Who are you?
I would cry so much.
Oh, man.
I like this.
Yeah,
This is fun.
It's good. Especially when I'm reading the questions out, because you're much faster than I am in this shit.
It's taken a lot of
maybe
practice.
sometime.
You're comedians, for God's sake. Something you can say while jumping on a trampoline, and when you get cum in your hair.
At least I didn't swallow anything today.
Jumping on tramp. Cum in your hair. That's a hard one. Cum in your hair.
What about my
Why is he
titties?
sticky?
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Both were
Both
good.
those were pretty good.
We said it at the same time.
I should say them again.
Say it separately.
Go first.
What did I say?
Why is this sticky?
Oh, why is this sticky?
What about my tits? All right, perfect.
Pretty good. This might be better than what's that card game?
Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, this might be a bit better than that.
I like
way
this
better.
one. I got this as a TikTok ad, and I bought it.
Really?
Yeah, because we look up games to do at the end.
All right.
Some of them are stupid, so feel free to switch them.
I'm just looking for the colors. There we go. Let's try that one. Something you can say on the Titanic as it's sinking and at a rave.
Am I high right now, or is that an iceberg?
That's
a good one.
Pretty interesting.
It's so good. Oh,
Well, that's the end of the episode.
it's a great one.
That's a highlight. Okay.
That's a clip right there.
Oh,
Holy shit. I'm crying. Because we would say that. There's something in my eyeball.
it's like a hair.
Yeah, is it like across my eye?
Yes, it is. Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
I'm like getting stabbed here. Hey, how are you?
How's your eyes?
They're good.
Is it good?
Yeah. Easy on your eyes?
Oh.
You know what?
Oh. Okay, I'll leave.
We're just teaching the audience something.
Some Riz.
Yeah.
Do you know what Riz is?
Sounds retarded.
He's skeptical of the word. I mean, it's short for charisma.
Ah.
I think you'd be a man about charisma.
Yeah.
Yes. But don't turn it into a retarded word. Just keep it as charisma.
I know.
Why make it short and stupid?
Because that's what our generation does. Have you ever seen TikTok? It's pretty short and stupid.
Yep.
That's why my ex calls me TikTok.
Pretty wrong.
Okay.
Incredibly self-deprecating.
What can I say? I learned it from my mama.
Okay.
Beauty therapy.
That's why you're here. The cheap
Oh,
woman.
I'm here to help fix all this.
Yeah.
You know,
Aren't men supposed to be problem solvers? I have mommy and daddy issues. Let's see what we can do.
she's healing.
Yeah.
We're working on this one.
The question is, am I going to be the guy who like goes into the Chernobyl reactor to like concrete it up and I know I'm dead the moment I step in there?
Or are you the guy who goes in and finds a 3-tittied bitch?
You save the family and the children from the burning building.
And then I get to like triple titty fuck.
Yeah.
That's the benefit.
Yeah. That's a
It's
dream.
an interesting compromise.
If you were married and you got the opportunity to titty fuck a 3-titty bitch, would you?
Well, two titty bitch.
no,
no,
there's 3.
Yeah, okay, so it's a
But
double. It's a
two-hole.
double titty fuck.
Yeah.
On the sly, probably.
You would cheat?
Dude,
mean,
my husband came back and was like, yo, I met this.
Who has ever titty fucked a 3-titty bitch?
You only have one dick. What? How?
You go one to the other one.
Okay.
You go back. Come on, think for a second. Think.
You just put like 2 pictures of different faces above each one, and you're like, this is great.
I mean,
hon.
we're assuming that her face is not.
No, but you get her face too.
Yeah, cool, good,
Okay.
good. It's also just like
Ooh.
interesting. But the best part would be if their tits were different sizes. That would be the key.
Interesting. You want
Ooh.
like an A, B, and C?
Yeah, with different feeling.
That's true.
If they were uniform,
Eh.
it would
It's
be the
kind of
same thing.
boring.
But typically, for women, one tit's bigger than the other.
Yeah, it's lefty.
So
Yeah, it's
there you
this
go.
one.
There you go. See-
You ain't
see?
in the left one.
I don't even have tits, and I know this.
Oh,
Right.
righty's tighty, lefty's loose.
See, there we go. If you had 3 tits, what's happening then?
What if it's like a palindrome? It's like the outside tits are bigger and the inside one's smaller.
I'd like that.
Maybe.
I'd like that too. Yeah.
Either way, it would feel different for the dick
Yeah.
because like one left side's big, right side's small. Now left side's small, right side's big. It would make the same effect.
Damn.
There's hope for guys with little dicks.
Absolutely, because angles make a difference.
Aren't the first like 3 inches of a woman's vagina the most sensitive?
Yes, that's why you finger there. That's why you get a girl to squirt there.
That's why I feel like a lot of girls we've been hearing.
He's
a lot
very
of-
curious. Let's go.
I know he's a shithead.
He is.
I love you, Bear.
They should just be part of the podcast, like just sitting.
They are.
It's on people's shoulders and we'll lick them during
I think we're the
podcasts.
only podcast that has cats like in the studio.
Good.
And when we're fostering kittens, think how cute it is when they're little kittens. It's adorable.
This guy
It's so cute.
He plays fetch.
doing his thing,
People who don't like cats, my cat plays fetch. Suck it.
but only if you don't look at.
Oh, yeah. It's like a woman. You can't pay too much attention to her, otherwise she gets weird.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a whole thing.
Wait, okay.
No, there's a whole point.
You think that's the point?
Women are like cats, men are like dogs.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the dogs respond like, oh, if I give the dog a treat, he does a thing. It's super easy. It's logical. It makes sense. Cats, if you ignore them, they love you more.
Yeah.
Not always though. Not if I'm like trying to pursue somebody. If they're ignoring me, I'm pissed.
But you still feel an emotion.
Yeah, and I'm attached to them. That's why I'm upset. And that's what men want to incite in us, isn't it?
No,
Wow.
but the opposite of love isn't hate.
It's indifferent.
It's indifference.
Oh.
If you felt nothing for that person, you wouldn't talk about
You
him,
wouldn't give
think about
a
him. He's out of your life. If you hate a guy, if a woman hates a guy, he's still in her brain. She's still thinking about him. If he showed her an ounce of affection, bam, she would be on him.
I feel like as I'm
I hate that you're right.
Yeah, you do. I can tell you hate that, right?
I don't know.
See it in your face. You're like, "God
I
damn
feel
it."
no.
Maybe just for me.
Because the moment I get like ghosted, I'm like, okay, well, there was your shot. And then I'm indifferent. I don't like them more. It doesn't make me want them more. Old me would be like, that was like insecure, would be like, oh my God, I need to fight for like his attention. Do you know what I'm saying? But like now I'm like, okay, if we're adults and you don't want to talk to me, we're not going to talk.
Yeah, but
You know?
what if he did? What if he re-sparks that conversation?
I also think I've been noticing lately that I don't show men that I'm interested in them.
Why?
And
Why?
It's a fear. It's a fear of rejection. It's a fear that they're
Isn't
not
that weird that women feel a fear? To me, that's retarded. That a woman feels a fear of rejection.
Because we're not going to get rejected to have sex, but we will get rejected for emotional
Mhm.
intimacy
relationship,
and
for
like,
relationship.
yeah, and like getting to know
But
somebody.
men get rejected for everything, like all the above.
Yeah.
Men get rejected from the bat. It's like men actually have to overcome the fear of rejection. The ironic thing is that all the men that you perceive to be players are actually men who have just overcome fear
of rejection.
right? And that's the thing, you're afraid of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you just like, you should not be afraid of rejection. The last thing
Yeah.
a woman should be afraid of is rejection.
Yeah.
The very last thing.
I also think that's, again, something I've realized is what's the worst thing they're going to do? Say they're not interested in me? Okay.
Cool.
I feel like they just did you a favor at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't waste time.
Thank you.
Look
Right.
at it from like a healed perspective of like, that's why like those things are now turnoffs
Mhm.
as like an adult. I don't know. I'm like somebody like isn't, if like somebody wants to get to know me and then they're not going to get vulnerable with me and they like have this wall up, I'm just like, this is,
Define vulnerable.
not like sit there and cry with me.
Okay,
But, like,
because that's what
I'm
most
thinking,
people
like
think.
the Are We Not Really Strangers game. I had like, it's like a game where it asks like deep questions and it's like, it's questions that you normally wouldn't think of. And it just like helps you get to know the other person. And so I've done that on like, with like an ex or whatever, because it was long distance. And it was harder for me to connect like sexually right off the bat when I haven't seen them. So I was like, if I feel comfortable with you and like we built that bond again, then I can just like be open and have sex.
Huh.
We would play this game for like an hour over a glass of wine, get like really deep. It's like cool questions to like learn about you. It could be like, what'd you aspire to be when you were growing up? And like, I don't know, how have you changed like your view on me since knowing me or something like that? Like things like that. You just have to answer about the other person. Like, so it gives the woman a chance to compliment the man too.
Huh.
So I
Which
feel
is
like
important.
when guys are like weird about that and they can't answer and they're not like down to have like a deep conversation, I'm turned off.
You know what's interesting is that it's kind of my default on a first date is to go into like those kind of questions.
That's what I would prefer.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, but it's like hearing this from a woman's perspective, like that's a rare thing. You have to like instigate is odd to me.
It
That's-
is.
It's sometimes
that's
like
kinda my
pulling
default.
teeth
It's
from a
pulling
man.
teeth.
Huh.
Yeah, like they can't get like deep because there's like this wall off. I can recognize that now more so and be like, okay, I'm not going to get involved with that person because they're not emotionally like connected with themselves. And so then like I have so many, I'm like able to go deep. So like why would I hold back?
I mean, I find surface level conversations very boring.
Me too.
So like I want to go deep off rip. I want to know about you and what you think and what you believe and your worldview and all these things because I find them interesting, right? And I think I don't even know what you would even talk about if you weren't going deep.
Some people
Honestly.
are very surface level.
What do you
Yeah.
talk about then?
I don't know. I'm not surface level.
They have crack jokes.
Oh, never mind. I'm surface level.
For like hours, so you just sit there and crack jokes?
I've actually
I've
noticed
definitely-
that's my nervous tick. Is if I'm nervous and I'm scared of being vulnerable, I'll just make jokes. And if
Yeah.
that's something I'm trying to steer away from is actually being open and vulnerable and being that like feminine where I can show that I'm like blushing and that I'm enjoying the conversation, you know?
That might be like, I feel like that's a commonality amongst comedians though too. Like to like default to cracking a joke.
Yeah, probably.
It's a trauma response.
It is a trauma response. Like most people don't become comedians because they
People
have
say
good
that.
fathers.
Okay, you said it, not me.
Oh, we're thinking it.
We all know it's true.
At least we're self-aware.
That's the first step
Yeah.
towards recovery.
I don't know. I think being able to connect, you know, ask the deep questions. It shows depth about a person. Why do people like not want to fucking see depth? Makes no sense.
Because we're scared of intimacy as a society.
Do you teach anything about like that?
I mean, when the little bit I do teach about like dating or a first date or whatever, it's like literally to learn more about the woman. Like,
But what if
Like,
that dies off?
I don't see how it could. Like, if I'm asking you, like, what did you want to be as a kid? Like when you're in your like, you know,
The next Steve Irwin.
years 1, 2, 3, definitely no. But I want to be a paleontologist.
I did too.
Jurassic
And a
Park.
marine
I
biologist.
think mine was the next Steve Irwin.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I thought you were being racist
No,
towards the Australians.
no, I would never. To you?
Doubt that very much.
That's your job.
Bingo. But like, I want to know what things formed and shaped your mind at an early
Yeah.
age that led you to where you are now. Like, why would I not want to know that? Like, to me, that's just genuinely interesting.
I think that's also a perspective switch that I don't know if you might have had that viewpoint in your 20s, where you maybe more so were having sex to have sex and not having sex to pursue the mother of your children.
Perhaps. It's perhaps.
Because now you're
That's, like,
thinking, like,
priorities.
what is she like? What is her mind about? Does she have similar views with me? Does she have similar morals? What are her principles?
I think I'm doing those. I'm finding out those things like on the back end, but on the front end, it's just more entertaining. Like it's more.
Okay.
It's genuinely more interesting for me to find out about like your background as a person, where you came from, what molded you,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll find out all these other really like important things about you as a consequence. But to me, it's just more interesting
Okay.
to learn about that
Okay.
person.
I feel like
It's
there's nothing more interesting than getting to know people.
Yeah.
No.
Even like in a friend way, you're like talking to somebody in an elevator and like
I love
those
that.
real conversations where you like connect with other human beings. I fucking love that.
Okay, Sterling. What would you say women need to look out for as red flags if they're looking to date to marry in men?
All of Emily's ex-boyfriends.
I'd say him not actually having a clear intention on like wanting to have a family. Like, okay, like what's his plan? Like, does he have a clear like plan and goal of like, okay, as an example, when I'm dating, I'm like, I want kids,
Mm-hmm.
I want a family. Like, it's very fucking clear from like the get go, right? So I think if a guy doesn't have clear intention, it's a bit of a red flag. Like, well,
Okay.
that means he's just casually dating. What does casually dating even mean? I've done that in my 20s. It means I'm just fucking around.
Yeah.
Really?
You're not looking for a wife.
Yeah, I'm not looking for shit. Like, I'm just like, I'm gonna like string a girl. Honestly, sorry to say it
Yeah, no, it's true.
bluntly, but I'm just gonna string a girl along until I'm bored of her.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay, if he doesn't have a clear path and intention on what he wants, like if he doesn't say like I want, I mean, maybe he doesn't have to necessarily specifically say it, but imply I want like the mother to my kids,
Yeah.
or if he's not even vetting you to see if you would be a good mother, I would say that's probably a red flag. Like, where's the long term
I agree.
path of it?
Because I'm looking
Yeah.
for the father of my children.
Not going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
What's the point? That's where it should end.
Mhm.
Ideally, it should end in a family. If
Yeah.
we're all being honest.
Yeah, I don't like to date for People just date for fun. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, why? That makes
Dating
no
isn't
sense.
fun.
Yeah, that's like it takes work. It takes like work. You know
It
what I
does take
mean?
work.
To
That's
like
dating
be with
is work.
somebody and like
Yes.
I'm like, you have time for that? So many guys are spending time fucking trying to get pussy. I'm like, make a fucking business. Go to work. What are you doing?
It's like nobody wants to work these days.
I would agree with that.
Oh,
This has been awesome.
do you have any last words?
Listen, I don't know. No, I don't. This is fun. I had
Do you
a
have
good
any
time.
last
All right,
words?
so let's go.
Yeah. All right. Well, where can everyone find you?
Just type my name, Stirling Cooper, into YouTube. You'll find me. I'm the first thing comes up. Thank God. You'll find me. You'll find all my stuff. Go search it out.
All your stuff.
All my stuff.
Oh.
Well, no, it's actually not all my stuff. The PG rated stuff.
Ah.
Okay.
You'll find.
And then do you have anything that you're like promoting or?
Right now, we just launched a new supplement line. If you have any problems in the bedroom as a dude in regards to the old boy downstairs, then check that out. Clubhousesupplements.com. That's where you would find it. You can also find a whole bunch of evidence about that, about what it's all about on my YouTube channel. So go check that out.
Use code 2G1B for 10% off.
People are going to get pissed when that doesn't work.
I know. Wait, guys, we're going to get an affiliate link and we'll put that in the bio when it comes.
Well, guys, this has been a great 2 episodes of Stirling. Thank you so much for coming on. We
Thank you.
appreciate you. This was hilarious.
And I'm still team. You can get high and find a husband. All right. Over and out.